1. Hello.
What's up, friends?
Welcome back.
For y'all, it's been a whole week, but for us, it seems like forever.
It's been like a month and a half.
I feel like we've lived a whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Wanderers of Weird.
We have a long catch up to share.
Is there like a soft light in here?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, Google, turn on office lights.
Thank you.
There we go.
I didn't want a big light. That was too much.
No big lights. I usually only turn the big light on in here if I'm filming a TikTok.
I see it drives TJ nuts because when we both have to work from home, I like to work in the dark. I'll just throw the curtains open on the sliding glass door, and then every once in a while, we've got like tall, they look like big light sticks, lamps in our room.
Yeah.
And you can mess with the brightness of them or whatever. I might throw those on. If I'm at home by myself, and he's not at home, that's what I'll do. He has to have the big light on.
No, hell no.
It drives me nuts.
No, I cannot work under those conditions.
I work better in the dark.
Because of the job that I do at work, it's fine. And I think that's one of the reasons why I prefer to come home and have just little lamps on. It's because I need to be able to see. So yeah, but any hoodle.
Y'all strap in because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to catch up on.
That's true. I want to jump right out of the gate and share a hot take real quick.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Face. So, do you listen to Ella Langley?
Don't hurt me.
I was worried that this might hurt your feelings a little bit. So, I don't mind her singing voice. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. However, so we had to...
Is this going to be another Lainey Wilson where you're like, her accent is fake?
No.
Okay.
No, because somebody, she sounds, have you heard her speak?
Yes.
She sounds like a carton of Marlboro Reds.
She's cornbread.
Well, it's not even that. It sounds like she's got rocks in her throat.
Yeah.
But, so we listened to, because he has put her on, he likes the song she did with Big X the Plug.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's probably the only song of hers that sounds different.
TJ is 10 out of 10 Ella fella.
Except for that Texas song, I couldn't tell the difference between any of the others.
I could see what you're saying.
I don't care for this. I was like, they all sound the same to me.
I could see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I was like, does she only have 4 songs? And he goes, no. I mean, he's like, she doesn't have many, but he was like, she's got more. I was like, because they all sound exactly the same.
I could see what you're saying.
So I
think the draw there is that she's new.
Yeah.
But she is hot.
She is really pretty.
And she's got a good personality.
Yeah.
She's funny.
I don't know. I've seen one clip of her in an interview, and I was like,
I saw a TikTok. I think it was a TikTok or a Facebook reel or something. And do you want back out?
He do. He holler him.
Well, hello, Mara. Are you coming in? Hi, baby girl.
Come on. She's like, my mama ain't here doing something without me.
Anyway, so I saw a video, and it was like an interview or something that was going on, and it was Ella Langley, it was Miranda Lambert, and it was Reba. Mm-hmm. And so Ella and Miranda write together quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were saying at one point I guess they were at Miranda's place and they were writing, and all of a sudden there was a snake, and then all of a sudden Miranda appears with a shotgun.
What the hell?
And then they were like, Reba, you should come write with us. And Reba was like, there are snakes and shotguns. I think not.
Right.
But I do enjoy her. I do.
It's not in my rotation, but.
Well.
But yeah, that was my take. I was like, I know a lot of people love her. That's fine. It's just not for me.
I think a lot of men are just Ella fellas because she is beautiful, and that Choosing Texas is a very catchy song.
Yeah. It's an earworm.
It makes you want to dance a little bit.
Because,
you want to do a little dancey dance.
I've heard that one, and then I don't mind that one with Big X the Plug. Actually, his parts are hilarious. I hope you turn your heater on and it blows cold.
Yeah. We talked about We talked about choosing Texas on one of our episodes a while
I
back.
think so, yeah.
Oh, we were talking about the CMAs.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's alright. It's alright. But yeah, that was my hot take. Because I was like,
While we're on the subject of music,
mm-hmm.
I didn't write this down, but I just remembered it. So, I am not a huge Bert Kreischer fan. I enjoy some of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he is...
I think that man needs to put a damn shirt on.
That doesn't bother me. I think that he's got...
I'm tired of seeing his titties on the internet.
I think he's got some...
Girl.
We don't agree on a lot of things, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of life.
I don't, it is what it is. But I do catch, like, he's got his own podcast, because he's got the one with Tom Segura,
mm-hmm.
and then he's got his own. And I just saw a little hummingbird out there.
Speaking of, Garth Brooks sells his catalog, and that shit is on Spotify. I'm about to fucking have a hoe down.
Anyway, so I've called a couple episodes of his podcast where he's done like interviews with different country music artists. And so like the first one that I watched was with Zach Top, and I don't know how familiar you are with Zach Top.
Not at all.
But I love that man. And I have been known to say Zach Top is bringing 90s country back. And you know what?
Isn't he firmly like...
He's against that.
Yeah.
But
he does not like that narrative.
No, he doesn't. But I stand firm. Like it's his style. Yeah. That's what he's trying to get out there. He's making music that makes him happy.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives us 90s babies. Those reminiscent vibes, and that's fine. I don't think he's a 90s baby. He's not.
No, he's probably born in like 2005 or
right.
some shit.
So it's just one of those things where he can say that. That's fine. That's his prerogative, but that's the way it makes us feel. But that interview, that man,
if he leaned into it, he would blow up. But I get that he would want to
wants it to be his own.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Greta Van Fleet with Led Zeppelin. It's like how they're like, oh no, we're not. But it's like, but you are.
Oh, he was born in 1997.
Oh, look at that. I think Greta Van Fleet's coming out with a new album. I saw something come up. It was on my recommended of it was like a teaser video. Yeah. I meant to send it to you, but I was like, she's probably already seen it.
I have. But anyway, Zach Top smoked half a carton of cigarettes, it seemed like, during this interview. It was great.
God. That reminds me. After you finish saying this, I gotta talk about cigarettes.
Okay. Anyway, so that was a great interview. And then there was another one where he talked to, was it Luke Combs? Maybe. I think it was Luke Combs. And I could be completely off base. You
heard that new Luke Bryan song?
No,
I've only seen clips.
Hot take. I don't like Luke Bryan.
I've only seen clips of people making fun of it. And what is the funniest to me is he is hot in them comments defending it.
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm like, brother, give it up. He just remade the, what is it? The Bo Burnham song.
It was Luke Combs. So he did this interview with Luke Combs, and then they decided that they need to make like a legends band, like a boys band, but for like
a super group. Yeah.
Yes.
Like the Highwaymen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's another one that we'll get into in a couple episodes, by the way.
Okay.
But it was like Luke, Chris Stapleton, Riley Green, and somebody else, and they made like an AI generated picture of what that would look like. Oh, Morgan Wallen was in there.
Oh,
I was like, count me out. But it was the greatest.
No offense if you like Morgan Wallen, but ew.
Yeah.
He is a baby back bitch. Did you see him turn that piano over because it wouldn't work?
Did you see that, was it Bailey Zimmerman? Is either Bailey Zimmerman or Riley, I think it was Bailey Zimmerman, is facing felony charges?
No.
Is it Bailey? I don't want to put false narrative out there. Bailey Zimmerman.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a newer. Yes, it was Bailey Zimmerman. He's like a newer artist.
What did he do?
He's going through some shit, I think.
Aren't we all?
But he trashed a hotel room.
Oh.
And then
Can't be doing that. They don't be doing that
like
these
canceled
days.
a bunch of shows.
It's not the 70s and 80s anymore.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that.
Anyway, so then there was another Burt Kreischer episode where he talked to the Red Clay Strays. That episode in and of itself, it really gave you a feel of how different each of them are. Like, I know that there's like 4 or 5 of them in the band, but it was like 3 of them that were actually on camera. And the 3 of them just all have way different personalities. And like the lead singer dude, he's very reserved, very like he's not going to talk a whole lot.
Yeah.
And you can tell that he's kind of like, it seemed,
it probably gives kind of like Fall Out Boy, because Patrick Stump is like that.
Yeah.
He's the lead singer, but he is not, but like Pete Wentz is the face of Fall Out Boy.
You could tell that it was almost like he was really kind of in his head about what he was saying before he says it.
Yeah.
The drummer guy, bro, he's a handful. He's like everywhere and nowhere all at once. Like, he's so funny. And his mom was there with them, and they just kept feeding. Like, he'd be like, Mom, can you get me another beer? Mom, can you get me this? Mom, you know? But it was like, it was the greatest interview. And I was like, I really enjoy this. But every country artist that they bring on, Bert's always asking if they've met Garth Brooks. And he's like, I want to meet this man.
Yeah.
I want to get to know this man. Yeah. I want to hug this man. Right. Because I want him to know that what
ain't
Tom
me.
says is what Tom says. That's not me. And I was like, I've
funny. Actually heard that Garth Brooks is nice.
Yeah. Was it Luke Combs?
He's just generally has like a menacing vibe.
Oh yeah.
Like he gives the vibe. Yeah, and like that. What was Chris Gaines? What was that?
A midlife crisis.
Where are you? That's what that was giving. I hope that was so good that we get our episode taken down.
Yeah, so Garth Brooks actually and Luke said this in that interview with Bert, he gave him a brand new custom blue Ford Bronco Raptor worth roughly $90,000. Yeah. Just as a surprise thank you. Yeah. After Luke Combs stepped in to like honor him and perform Beaches of Cheyenne at a Songwriters Awards ceremony. Yeah. Just out of nowhere. Like Luke said, he was sitting at home and all of a sudden somebody pulled up in this truck and was like here's the keys. And then he was like, what do you mean? And he was like, Garth Brooks sent this to you.
From your good buddy, Garth Brooks.
And I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy. We've like driven past their land because they live in like Madison area.
Do they still?
I think so. I think they bought more land. I'm not sure.
I thought he was.
It's gated as hell.
Yeah, Goodlettsville.
Yeah.
300-acre country estate in Goodlettsville.
Like, you can't see anything from the road.
This since 1990.
Yeah, you can't see anything from the road. Like, all you see is wooded area and their gates. That's it.
Did you see?
And you ain't getting through.
Right. I saw a video the other day and just watching this 10-second snippet. This is kind of, it's still music related, but it's changed of people. 10 seconds of it brought me to tears, and I was like, if I had seen this in person, I would have sobbed. At the music festival that
Bonnaroo?
No, that Tyler Childers does in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Chris Stapleton do it. They got on stage and sang Follow You to Virgie together. Nice. Man, you're talking about 2 of my favorite artists. Put them together.
One of the saddest songs.
Jesus Christ. I would have bawled. I would have been in a big puddle on the floor. Big puddle. Like, it's one of those things, and this is where I'm getting too personal with everyone. I was both in awe and aroused In the weirdest way.
Listen, Tyler Childers is a little cutie. I get it.
My thing again.
I get it.
Rubber thing over here. Anyway.
Oh, there's an extra one somewhere. I forget where I put it.
Oh, well. Anyway, so there's that.
So let me talk about cigarettes real fast.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a cigarette in like 7 years, right? For the past month, all I can think about is having a cigarette.
Girl.
It's all I can think about. I've seen it on like TikTok. It's like, under no circumstances is anyone allowed to give me a cigarette. I'm going to have him print me one. I've already ordered the shirt. I'm going to have him make me one. But then I'll get a whiff and I'm like, that's why.
Never mind.
That's why.
Yeah.
But there's something, I don't know. There's something wrong with my brain.
Well, it's one of those things where you sit there and you really think about it, but then when you actually give in and actually hit one for the first time, you're going to be like, ew.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know. There's something culturally right now that's like shifting to where smoking cigarettes is cool again, and it's working.
Yeah.
It's working on my brain.
It's cool.
As I'm like, God, it really does look cool. You look cool. You stink, but you look cool. Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I worked way too hard to quit. And I know that it's like the hardest thing, one of the hardest things I've ever done. And like, I've just traded that addiction for other addictions, but that's neither here nor there.
Addictions that are not bad for her.
Well,
we'll put that out there.
I will say, I swapped cigarettes for food.
Well,
and was almost 400 pounds. So that wasn't great, but it wasn't like a harmful to my lungs.
Right.
You know,
you're not going to have a hole in your throat.
Right. And then I've basically like swapped food for probably like shopping is probably, but I'm a little bit more mindful these days of that. So, and then I've got like a very serious, like, Coke, like Diet Coke problem.
You almost said Coke problem.
Coke problem. Diet Coke problem. I want to be very clear. A little fridge cigarette is because that's like one thing.
She's got a Coke problem.
That's like the one thing. That's like the one vice that I'm not gonna give up.
In 15 years, if we're still doing this, somebody's gonna go back.
She had a Coke problem
here. Yes.
Her addictions weren't as unhealthy, but it was a Coke problem. No, but yeah, no, I think a Diet Coke, because like I start my day with a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, when I'm at work, I wait. I've got to be very like mindful and disciplined I only bring the one to work with me.
Right.
And I'm not leaving work to go get another one.
Yeah.
So that one I have with my lunch, I nurse it, and then I will drink one, sometimes two, when I get home from work.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm blowing through, like, 2 12-packs a week just by myself. But at least it's not beer or, you know, anything like that. But it's still not great for me.
Right.
But
it could be worse.
It could be worse.
But you
could
also
be Coke.
You chase it with water, too.
Yeah, I do. I also carry around my water with me everywhere. So, but yeah, and that's why I drink Diet Coke, is because sure, I could have a regular Coke. I'm not good. That's a lot of sugar. That is a lot of sugar.
Sugar ones are not good.
They're not good, but it has worked, and I'm quite very addicted to it.
Yeah,
and to the point where I really don't like full sugar sodas anymore. Yeah. Every once in a while, like we went to Lowe's after work one day to get wood for the living room, and they had the bottled Mexican Coke that's like pure cane sugar.
Man.
And I was like, let me get one of them.
I love a good
He goes,
Mexican Coke.
Are you going to drink it? I said, no, I'm going to wait because I need a bottle opener because they're not twist off. And I was like, I'm going to put it in the fridge, let it get nice and cold again. And then I'm going to let my little gummy kick in, and that's going to be my little treat.
Yeah, those Mexican Cokes
and it hit.
Awesome.
It was very good.
It's that pure cane sugar. And if I'm not mistaken, they throw a little bit of vanilla in there, and Mexican vanilla is supreme.
It's so good.
Supreme.
But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about cigarettes, because all I can think about is having a cigarette. And I'm like, if I could get one that's like not nicotine, like not tobacco based, I would probably try that, but I don't want to. No, I'm good. I'm good on that because it's a slippery slope for me. because I know that if I had one cigarette, it would ruin me.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's the girls who, like, only smoke when they go out and drink or whatever. They go to the bar and they're like, give me a little cigarette. And then they can be fine and go back to just not having a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not the bitch that can do that.
Mm-mm.
That's one of the reasons why I also don't drink anymore, because it increases my desire for a cigarette. So.
Well, so do we want to talk about the events that have happened in our lives at this point, or do we want to go down my list of things that aren't things that have happened in my life that I just wanted to talk about?
Let's do life updates,
Okay.
and then we'll do everything else.
Okay. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right. So since we last saw you guys and updated you on our lives, I'm trying to think. Nothing really crazy has happened in my life that I would like to talk about on here, except for the husband and I went on a little weekend getaway to Clearwater, Florida. Just the two of us. We did not take the children with us. We like to alternate years as to, this year me and him will go on a trip. Next year we'll take the kids. It'll be a family trip.
Yeah.
Because we work hard to try and continue to date each other,
Right.
And just to keep that alive. Because it is, for those of you who are not married, if you don't know, it is hard sometimes to keep that spark alive when you live together, you're with each other 24/7,
Yeah.
So continue. Here's my piece of advice for all you youngins out there, or even if you're not young and you're not married yet. Keep the spark alive, continue to date each other.
Yeah.
Don't let the butterflies fade. Keep them going.
Yeah.
There's my piece of
Find
marriage.
things. Like, it's important to have your own hobbies and interests, but it's also important to have, like, find some sort of commonality with your partner.
Right.
That you can do together and enjoy together.
So anyway, we decided we were going to go back to Clearwater, Florida. Generally, so we went there in December.
Y'all should have gone to Disney for a day.
We thought about
together.
it, but it's also very expensive. So
yeah, it is very expensive.
And we spent more money than we had intended, and I'll get into that in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But we went to Clearwater back in December. We took the kids, and then we went to Disney for a day while we were there. That was part of their Christmas. And we really liked it there. As far as it being a family-friendly environment there in Clearwater, if you've never been, it is very family-friendly. There are tons of children.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot to do in the way of like in Panama City, you've got like putt-putt golf, and you've got like go-karts and batting cages and arcades. Like, there might be an arcade or two. You have to drive a little bit over into like St. Pete to get like putt-putt golf, and there was like one place. There was like one company essentially that had like 3 or 4 down this stretch of road that was like 15, 20 minutes apart, and it was like the same theme at each one.
Oh,
yeah. But
you weren't far. I bet my sister was over there somewhere nearby y'all.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
But because we drove over into St. Pete that Sunday before we headed back. But we go. I'm super excited because I was like, normally we like to go to new places and see new things and do all the cool things and sightsee and whatever. And we had talked about, several places. We had talked about going to Maine. We had talked about going to Salem, Massachusetts. We had talked about several places. But like, it's been a kind of, I wouldn't say brutal, but it's been a rough couple of months for a little bit for us. I was like, truthfully, I really just want to sit my fat ass on a beach and not think about a damn thing. Not worry about feeding everybody, not worry about, not having to stress about a damn thing. Just sitting on the beach and listening to the waves. So we decided to go back to Clearwater. And I get on VRBO to try and find a place. And I got excited because I found a place that was cheap. It was like less than $500 for Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, checking out on Sunday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was stoked because the reviews seemed all right. The pictures looked good. The ratings were good. I'm like, hell yeah, brother. It was a little bit of a red flag that they were like, we've been renting this property since like 1978 or some shit like that. And you could kind of tell that it had really not been updated since then.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? As long as I got a place to lay my head that doesn't have bugs and I got somewhere to shit, I'm good to go. Because that's really only, as long as I got a place to sleep, shit, and shower, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in that room, period. I'm going to be on the beach. And so we fly in Thursday morning. We couldn't check in until 3 p.m. So we're like, okay, let's go find things to do. So we went over to an aquarium that's in Clearwater. So there's one in Tampa and then there's one in Clearwater.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to the one in Clearwater because it's kind of on the way to where we're staying. And didn't know it, but do you remember there's a movie called Dolphin's Tale or something like that about Winter the dolphin that lost
I've
her
never
tail?
seen it, but I've heard of it.
So this is the aquarium that Winter was at.
Oh, okay.
So we get there, they had sea turtles. I was like, I swear I stood there and just watched them for the longest time.
Did you know that you can get a stingray massage?
Excuse me?
Yeah, not something I want to do, but it is a real thing. I just
I'm
needed
not
you to know that.
sure about that. I'll have to look into that.
It is a real thing.
Anyway, sat and watched the sea turtles for forever. There was one there that it was a green sea turtle, and it was green by name.
Mm-hmm.
It was white colored, but he was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. He was gorgeous. I couldn't help but just stare at him. And so like we got lucky because while we were there, they were doing like a little, they were feeding them and having like I don't remember what they called it, but it would be like a zookeeper talk or whatever there while we were there. And then right after that, the next little part over, they had some sea otters and or river otters, not sea otters, river otters, and they did like a little talk about them too.
Yeah.
But we walked around this whole little aquarium. It was kind of pricey, but because we had talked about doing it while we were there with the kids in December, but it was pricey. But for two of us, it was not that bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I will tell you, seals stink to high hell. That room was god awful.
That feels like something I've heard before.
It was awful. But anyway, so we go there, have a great time, run to Walmart, get, necessities, and then we go to check into the room. Now, let me just tell you, check-in was literally doors unlocked, keys on the table, parking passes on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So we pull up, and it's like this old as hell building where it's like apartments, essentially. And we're on the top floor, we're on the second floor. But we have to go around back. And it's in like a little bay area.
Yeah.
And there's like a little dock and everything out. I mean, it looked old. But I was like, okay, not a big deal. Honestly, the steps and the deck to get to it were all wooden and looked like they also needed to be updated. Probably haven't for several years. I was a little scared to walk on them. We get to the door of our room, and there is about a gap, about half an inch between the top of the door and the door frame.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. We open the door, and it's hot as hell in this little apartment. And it's not big. It's the size of your living room and dining room.
Which is not very big, yeah.
It's not big. It's got one window unit, okay?
Right.
I'm like, you know what? They probably just turned that window unit on because nobody was here.
Was it blowing cold air at all?
Yeah, yes and no.
Mm.
I I'm like, let's just give them benefit of the doubt. We just checked in at 3 o'clock. They maybe didn't turn that on until like 2. So we'll give it some time, you know? TJ says, let's run back to Walmart and get a couple fans. We'll try and push through it. Because like you said, we just need somewhere to sleep, shit, shower, whatever. Yeah. I pulled the sheets back on the bed. We unloaded all of our stuff. That's the first thing I do every time we go somewhere is I pull the sheets back on the bed to make sure there's no bugs. We unloaded everything. Put up our groceries. And then I will say I drank more on this trip than I have in years. And I never got like drunk.
Yeah.
But like I drank. So then we leave. We go to Walmart. We come back to bring the fans back. And it's still just as hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And at this point, the freezer's making a weird noise. Like it sounds like it's about to explode.
Yeah.
So I call the number for the host and leave a voicemail. And then we're like, okay, we're going to go to dinner. And as soon as we walk out the door, the host calls back. And so I'm telling her, well, I don't have anything that I can replace it with right now. I don't have another unit. I'll just come by and check it out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, do you need us there? And she's like, no, I've got a key. Mm-hmm. Cool. We're going to go on to dinner.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, she calls. Well, it's working. The freezer was making that noise because it's frozen up. And TJ, which at this point I told TJ, when she calls back, I want you to take the call.
Yeah.
Because I am not very confrontational. And she's just going to be like, well, it's not a problem. And I'm going to be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to take it. I'm like, so I want you to talk to her. So he takes the call. She's like, well, it's blowing and the freezer's frozen and he's like, well, don't you think that's an indication of the room's too hot?
Yeah.
He's like, the freezer's having to work so hard to stay cold that it's freezing up. He's like, that's a problem.
Right.
He's like, it's hot in there. She's like, well, I just had a couple from Canada come and stay for a month. They didn't complain about it at all. And he's like, they're from Canada.
Yeah.
It's probably okay for them to sleep in a hot climate. And he's like, we're from Tennessee. We don't like to sleep in a hot climate. We're in hot all other times. He was like, we were going to try and push it through. We even went to Walmart and bought fans. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking like box fans, like expensive ones. Not expensive, but not just little desk fans. And she's like, well, basically told us we had to leave. Mm-hmm. And that she was going to refund us. Mm-hmm. Then 30 minutes later, she texts me, you're going to have to contact VRBO. They're not going to let me cancel it. Mm-hmm. You have to cancel it for me to refund you. So I contact VRBO. Right. I am on the phone with them for 2.5 hours. Lord. And they're like, well, she's not going to refund the first night. But she'll refund every other night. Mm-hmm. But we can't refund the taxes and fees because those are non-refundable.
Yeah.
So I was going to be getting back like not even half.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. At this point, I was fed up. That shit
would have had me fuming.
So in the meantime, I went on Airbnb instead of VRBO and found us another unit to stay in that was closer to the middle of everything. And it looks nice.
Yeah.
So, I'm same night needing this. So I'm like praying and I click, send the request to book this place. 30 minutes later, if even it responds, they respond that it was accepted. And then I get a text from this host saying, this is crazy because they get our address. She's like, 6 months out of the year, I live in another town that's in your county.
Right.
And I'm like, that's nuts. So we go and we get all of our stuff out of this other place. Mm-hmm. We even took our trash with us.
Yeah.
The only thing, literally, the only thing we did was sit our stuff down. Didn't even open our suitcases.
Yeah.
Sit our stuff down. Put the groceries out on the counter and in the fridge and in the freezer. Mm-hmm. Threw away some trash.
Yeah.
And use the bathroom. Which, by the way, it's bad when you're breaking out in a sweat trying to take a shit, but not because the shit is so intense, because it's just hot.
Yeah.
So all they really had to do was go make a bed, take a Clorox wipe to the toilet.
Yeah.
And that's it. They didn't have to do nothing. Okay?
Right.
We get into this other place. It's immaculate. It's fantastic. It also has window units, but there's one in the living room. This place was bigger too. It's one in the living room, one in the bedroom. It was beautiful. It was clean. It was perfect. It was amazing. It was like in the middle of everything. Like everything was walking distance basically. Except for their pool that we are allowed to have access to. You had to walk back closer to where we were staying before. And it was like 3, 4, 5 blocks away.
Yeah.
So we didn't utilize that because I was not walking.
I don't blame
We
you.
had a car. We rented a car, but there's no parking's not a thing in Clearwater, really. So anyway, we get this figured out. Here I am thinking I'm going to get a refund. They're telling me, he was like, I'll refund you the money. I'll call you tomorrow to confirm when it's supposed to go in. I'm like, cool. I didn't hear anything the next day. Next day, here's a funny story for you. We sit on the beach for a little while. I start getting hungry. We had both decided there's a Hooters in that main strip. Something about a Hooters at the beach just hits. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And this one, honestly, is like, was this the original or one of the original Hooters? Anyway. We get there. We're sitting there. Our food comes out, and I look at TJ, and if y'all know anything about me, I don't shit in public. I look at TJ, and I'm like, yep, I'm shitting in public today. Out of nowhere, he just dies laughing. He was like, well, I was not ready. So we eat, and then I'm like, okay, I need to go to the bathroom. So keep in mind that I have one of those, like, one-piece, like
a romper.
Dresses.
Yeah.
And this one has the butt flap, okay?
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal.
You're not sitting there tits out.
Right.
Yeah.
However, you pull that butt flap down, you got to like finagle your way in to be able to wipe, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not a girl that can reach around from the back.
Yeah.
I'm a big lady and my T-Rex arms don't reach far enough. So I gotta get from the front too, you know? So I go to the bathroom and I'm already struggling to wipe. Only to find out that the light in this bathroom is on a timer.
Oh, hell.
All of a sudden, I'm wiping my ass in the dark.
No. Mm-mm.
I'm like, I turned my flashlight on my phone on. At no point did it ever occur to me that I could just text TJ and he could just come open the door and the light would come on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really hope nobody else.
Poops.
Right. I'm like, I really hope nobody else walks in here to realize there's actually someone sitting in the dark in here.
And they'll know that you're taking a shit because you're sitting in there in the dark.
Yeah. So, like, I finally get the job done. I come out. I'm, like, cracking up. And he's like, what's wrong? And I tell him. And he's like, you're stupid. You could have just texted me. I'm like, I'm aware. I know. Anyway. That day goes by. The next day, we're on the beach literally from like 11 to almost 6 p.m. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on. Friday. Yes, Saturday, 11 to 6 p.m. Okay. Yeah. I spent more time in the water than I did on the actual beach, which is a big deal for me because I usually don't get in the water very deep because I am scared.
Yeah.
I got in there. Went all the way out to the sandbar. Had a great time. Nice. It was fantastic. Something about being able to like just stand around and pee when I have to pee was, you know, after 4 of those like frozen drinks that I'd had, it was great. Anyway, we come back in, shower.
More of the story is don't drink the water.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not the only one out there doing it.
He's swimming around and everybody's pissed.
Pretty much.
Ugh.
We come in, we shower, we go to dinner, and it, like, my stomach didn't feel great. It just felt nervous.
Yeah.
And then it, like, we get through eating dinner, and I was like, we got to go back to the room. Like, we were supposed to meet up with a friend of mine that lives out there, and ended up not. I look at TJ, I was like, we got to go back to the room. My stomach doesn't feel good. And he's like, okay. And he's like, is it an emergency? I was like, not yet, but it's going to be. And then, like, 15 steps later, I was like, no, we got to go.
Now it's an emergency.
Like, I'm running in the door at this point, okay? I'm in the bathroom for the rest of the night. Damn. I got hit with severe dehydration is basically what it is, because all I drank was Pepsi. I had like one Powerade the whole time we were there, and it took me 2 days to drink that.
Yeah.
And honestly, every time I went to go try to drink it, it made me feel nauseous, which was a clear indication that I truly needed it.
Yeah.
And then I had, those frozen little drinks. The little, what I'm talking about, like the little pouch frozen drinks that you can get at Walmart. We had bought a bunch of those. I drank like 6 of them the whole weekend, maybe 8.
Damn.
I drank 4 alone on Saturday. Anyway, so we were in the room for the night. We did break out at one point to go to CVS, which is just around the corner, to get me a Gator Light and some Tums.
Mm.
And then Sunday, we got up, drove to St. Pete, then came over back to Tampa to the airport. While we're sitting in the airport, I get a call from VRBO asking me to go through the whole spiel all over again.
Yeah.
To tell me that they couldn't refund any of it. The host was not refunding any of it. And I'm like, well, at this point, I've already been told that I was getting a refund. So someone here dropped the ball and didn't put notes in the system like they should have.
Mm-hmm.
So now VRBO owes me my money.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to look into that. Honestly, right now, I don't have time. I'll have to call you back. I didn't hear anything back for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I call back on Monday. I get the right person, and I got refunded all of that.
There you go.
So, moral of the story.
Did you get your taxes and fees back?
Yes,
too?
I did. I got
nice.
every penny that I spent.
Good.
And
like I said, they will, like, this is what I told you. They'll get it back from her.
They better.
Yeah.
We rated her shit.
Yeah.
And then she also did the same for us, saying that we left the room messy, basically, which we did not. Anyway, moral of the story.
What did y'all do with the fans?
Left them in the Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
The Airbnb was twice the amount that we paid for the original, the VRBO, which was fine.
Yeah.
It got figured out.
It was probably worth it just to get out of that hellhole.
I will never again rent from VRBO. Because of the customer service experience.
Yeah, I don't blame you. At least you got your money back.
Yeah. But, so, all in all, though, it was a good trip. It was very relaxing. I felt rejuvenated when we got back. It was a good time. I'm glad we went.
There you go.
That was an hour-long story. Sorry.
Whatever.
Tell us about your...
So, we also went on a trip the following weekend. I got
bit while she was gone.
The biter is in the room with us.
Yeah.
So I got Daniel a BMW a driving experience for his Christmas/birthday. So I knew going into like getting my tax return that that's what I was going to spend it on, because I am an incredible gift giver, except for that man. I can't do it. I suck. Anyway, it's because anytime he like wants something, it's either so expensive that like,
I feel that's a man thing.
Yes.
Because TJ's the same.
Or it's like, if he wants something, he just gets it. Which is fine. But, so I was watching Caroline Parker. I think I've mentioned her on here before, but she bought her husband a Mercedes experience over in the UK. And she was like, it's kind of expensive, but like if your guy's a car guy, if he likes, this kind of thing. And I was like, good idea. Let me look into this. So I looked into it. I let him know, like I gave him for his birthday, I gave him a card saying that this is what we're going to do. And that he needs to go on and pick. So like right before all the cats got sick, I booked that. And it was finally time for the trip. So the morning of, like, we went to work for a little bit, and like I get there and I was like, hey, should we be concerned about because we have an X5, a BMW X5. And I was like, should we be worried about how much it's smoking? Because it's not like black diesel smoke. It's like white smoke, like whitish blue. In my experience with vehicles, not a good sign.
Right.
Smoke. And he goes, no, I think it's, da da da. He's like, I don't think it's anything to worry about, but well, I'll keep an eye on it. Cause he's like, when does it do it? I was like, when you accelerate. And he's like, well, I don't think it's anything. We had a rough-ish start to begin with because somebody said, we'll be closed Friday, and then like let people come in anyways. But a bunch of people paid. So it was okay. It was worth it. It was like a $1,500 day. Finally, we get our butts on the road. And we are tweedledeeing down the interstate. And I was like, I gotta pee. Like, after we got through some traffic, I was like, I've gotta pee. So we pull off in Lebanon, right? Like, past the airport, all this. We pull into a big old pilot station, and we go in. I get a snack. Isaiah got a snack. I think Danny got corn dogs, and because then he got burping corn dogs while we're sitting there in the heat. And so
I'm so glad he didn't come back.
Go back to the car. He starts the car and he goes, smells like burning rubber. And I'm sitting there eating my potato wedges like, I hope it's somebody else. I hope we get away from this gas station and it ends up being somebody else. Next thing you know, car shuts off. Battery light comes on. And he goes, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. And I was like, oh no. Now, mind you, we're already going to be getting to our hotel late at night. It was already going to be like 11 o'clock by the time we got there. And I was like, because this was at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30 or so. And maybe even a little bit later than that, maybe like more so 3 o'clock. And so he pops the hood, them two get out, look at it.
It was probably about 3.
It was about 3-ish. And I messaged you and I was like, we broke down. I'm trying really hard not to crash out right now because I've got this like schedule in my mind that we're not meeting that nobody else knows about. I'm like, I'm about to crash out. I'm about to scream and cry. I text my mother. I'm like, hey, can you help me? And she's like, she starts to figure it out. And then she's like, well, I can't drive by myself. So let me see if your dad can. And I'm like, well, I don't want him to leave work. And then you had messaged me back. And you were like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hit the road. And I was like, well, I'm just going to let her come get us. So Chelsea came and got Isaiah and I. We drive all the way back to where we live to pick up Daniel's mom's car. Who graciously was like, yeah, take it. Just be careful.
Meanwhile, I'm in a panic because I get out of the car and immediately step on what looks to me like poison ivy.
It does. There is like poison ivy on that tree that's like right by the road, but because he was like, this place, it's covered in Virginia creeper, which looks like poison ivy. And one of them, because he did the little like snapshot of it, and it's like an oak tree baby sapling, one of the ones that was like in the middle of the driveway over by where your driver's side was. So luckily it wasn't. But
I immediately went home and like washed my feet and legs and threw those sandals away.
I don't blame you. But so we get that. We get her vehicle, get all of our crap put into it, and then we go get his headphones because he left his headphones, and then come to the house. I can't find my house keys. So I once again have to have you come rescue us. And then you're like, oh, because I was like, well, they've got to be in here in my purse because I took a different purse on the trip, and I'm digging around and I can't find them. And then I was like, I had a vague memory of putting them in my backpack.
After I had already gotten here.
After you had already gotten here, because you were like, what triggered the scavenger hunt was you were like, okay, well, I'm going to go. Are you sure you have a key? And I was like, yes, I'm sure I have a key. It's in there in my purse. And then I was like, let me make sure I have this key in my hand before I let you leave my house.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find it, but I found it in my backpack. And so get the keys, get the cats all fed, get back. And he was waiting on a tow truck driver this whole time at the gas station. He was still waiting. This has been over an hour.
Yeah. He was with the car where I picked them up from.
Yeah. And he was going to ride back with the tow truck driver and just meet us here at the house. But by the time we got ready to leave again, he's still like 25, 30 minutes out. This was the slowest truck driver in existence.
He was 30, 45 minutes out when I picked y'all up.
Right. Yeah. So we just start heading that way. And I think he maybe waited like 10 minutes for us. Like, that's how long it took. It took like 4 hours for this tow truck driver to show up. And so we get all the way back to Lebanon, pick him up. We get on the, I had already called, when we were here, when I was waiting for you, I called the hotel and got that all squared away. Because I was like, we're going to be showing up in the middle of the night. And I was like, but we are still coming. So get that. We get on the road. We get there. We got there a little bit earlier than we anticipated. Because, like, we were expecting the time change. So, like, the lady put us in the system as arriving at, like, between 3 and 4 a.m. Eastern. And, so, but we got there at, like, 2-ish. Like 1:32-ish, which wasn't bad at all. And then because my friend that booked the room for us is like she's like a titanium member at Marriott. We could either get like a $10 voucher for the bar or give her 1,000 points. And I was like, just give her the points this time. I know it's a drop in the bucket because these rooms cost so many points,
right.
But whatever. And then, and then for breakfast, it was either 750 points or we get 6 breakfast vouchers. And I was like, let me get them vouchers. We'll take the vouchers. And because she had already told us, hey, if they offer them, just take them. Or if they don't offer them, ask because you should get them. Well, they didn't have any. So I had to go back down the next morning and they had them ready for us. But the manager asked us where she was, and I was like, well, she booked it for us. And she was like, just for future reference, these are only available for members. She's like, but as a courtesy, I'm going to give it to you this time. And I'm like, thank God, because I would have had to have called and let her know, and then she would have called and chewed somebody out.
Right.
And I'm like, so thank you, appreciate it. So we got the breakfast buffet for the 3 of us for 2 mornings, which was great. It was lovely. It was a good buffet too. 10 out of 10 will try to finagle that again.
At least you figured that out day one, because we had this amazing, in Florida, we had this amazing little, it was called the Caffeinated Bakery. It was literally like right up under where our room was, the one that we ended up keeping.
Yeah.
And like I had seen it, because I was looking at places to eat around before we even went, and I had seen it on there and saw that they had like breakfast stuff. And I knew that it was right under us, but I didn't go and get it because we had bought like Pop-Tarts and stuff to eat. I was trying to spend the least amount possible.
Right.
But
especially after having to book 2 different. Yeah.
And then like the Sunday before we left out, before we checked out, I was like, I need like real food of substance after spending the entire night in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Let me run down here and get a sandwich or something. That was the best bacon, egg, and cheese croissant I've ever in my life had. It was so good. Like, good enough. TJ doesn't eat croissants, but he took a bite of it.
I love a croissant.
I do too. He doesn't. He took a bite of it and he's like, that's really good. He turned around and went down there and got a bacon, egg, and cheese Texas toast sandwich.
Yeah.
It was so good.
They had a restaurant like in the hotel that was like down. This was a huge hotel. We were on the 9th floor.
Jesus.
And we had a wonderful view. I kept posting pictures of the sunsets from our window.
Oh, that's where that was from? Nice.
That was the view from our room. And it was lovely. The hotel was really, really nice too. But yeah, so day 1, so Saturday, we get up, we went to that Hub City bookstore, the cat, Zora. Very cute. Loved that store. It was very cute. The boys just sat in chairs and waited for that was pretty much the entire, everywhere we went shopping, it was pretty much them going and finding seats and sitting and waiting for me to browse. But this place had a cat, so they had something to occupy their time. And she was very, very sweet. But what I enjoyed about the bookstore is I'm browsing and then I'm realizing that they're just playing the Tortured Poets Department album like straight through. Nice. And I'm like, I like it here. I got the audiobook because I was like, man, this would be fun to talk about on the podcast. I used let me see. It's called How to Build a Haunted House. I don't want you to play. I want your title details. Thank you. But because it was like, it's just like a regular bookstore, it's cover price, and it was $30. And I was like, because it was hardback, which is fair. It's worth it, but it's just not what I wanted to spend in the first store I stepped into. Because I'm like, we got 2 whole days here before we leave. I need to not spend all my money in the first store I walk in. But so I got a different book that was a little bit cheaper. But it's a cultural history of the phenomenon of the haunted house as seen through art, architecture, and ghost stories. What makes a haunted house? Why do some buildings conjure up a reputation for being particularly creepy while others leave us unmoved? Barring the possibility of a looming afterlife, what are the particular features, contexts, and histories that lend a building that dreaded identity of haunted house? How to Build a Haunted House tours some of the world's most famously spine-chilling structures in search of answers, from medieval Scotland to Enlightenment-era London, Victorian suburbs to pre-Civil War Louisiana. Blackwell Baines and an expert in Gothic art and architecture will explore that specific set of ingredients that captures our imaginations and contributes to our collective understanding of the eternally eerie. After all, whether a staunch skeptic or a paranormal enthusiast will know a haunted house when we see one. I was intrigued, so I'll let y'all keep y'all posted. But
I just want you to know,
is that good?
I've not been able to get it off my mind.
I got her. We went to later this first day. We went into Greenville. And we just parked because it was there. We found there were several parking garages, right? And most of them were like, park here for $10. And then he missed the turn into one of those parking garages and went a little further. And it was like, parking, this one has parking for free today. And then we also found a spot right next to like a walk out straight onto the street. It couldn't have been more perfect.
Right.
And it was right behind that general store where I got that. So we went to the bookstore, and then we went over to the train museum, which we could see from our hotel room. Like, the train went off. Oh, speaking of our hotel room. So, I said we got in late. 5:30 in the morning. There's an alarm going off for 5 minutes of an emergency has been reported. Occupants stand by for further instructions. So, like, we didn't have to go anywhere. I quite literally rolled over, put my noise canceling headphones on, and tried to go back to sleep until it went off. It felt like an eternity. And then it went off again at like 10:30 or so, or like 10-ish. And I'm like, I'm over this. It wasn't on for as long. It went through like 2 rotations of that statement, and then we moved on with our lives. But wild. I was like, we had no sleep. We got this shit. So finally I just got up, got dressed, and we went and had breakfast and started our day. But anyway, train museum, lovely. I feel like our Tennessee Railway Museum in Nashville could take notes. This place, for the size of it, had so much stuff. It was small. And it had, like, you could do Morse code and, like, talk to each other from across the room.
Oh, nice.
It was very, very cool. They had, like, a train whistle. There was a guy who said, I think he said that his kid loved coming to the museum so much that now he just volunteers there. Like, the dad volunteers there. And he was very enthusiastic about talking. He was talking to one family that was in there for, like, 20-30 minutes.
Nice.
And then we watched a couple of trains. There were a lot of train spotters. There was one that about fell and tripped over himself getting out of his vehicle. It did not help that he was not wearing a belt, and it also did not help that his boots were falling apart. Like, we're pretty sure that a couple of these train spotters just live in their vehicles. It was crazy. And then we're leaving, right? And the one that was so excited, he's like getting in the back of his car, and he's like, and Isaiah goes, is that a gallon of Hawaiian Punch? He's pulling a full gallon of Hawaiian Punch out of the back of his car.
Nice.
One that we were like, is he alive? Because he was just kind of laying there. So we hope he's doing okay. But there was a caboose that you could go in that had like a train, model train set up. The little old man in there was so cute. He was so cute. He was very excited to learn that we were from Nashville and that we like have regularly ridden the train that runs here. Yeah. And then see from there we went to, I'm going to say, I wasn't impressed with the Goodwills. It was not, they weren't great. There wasn't, the books, disappointing. The movies, disappointing. Also, why are we putting these huge stickers that are so sticky? They're worse than Ollie stickers on these movies. Oh, pissed me off trying to get them things off. So I was like, well, unless it's like, I gotta have it when we go, because I'll probably definitely get him another experience. But like when we go again, I will not be buying any like movies. No, thank you. But we went to, so there was like this I think it was just outside of Greenville. There was a Goodwill that was like new, very new, but it was in the middle of two other Goodwills. So we got a Goodwill that was a boutique that had like Coach purses
like the
and
higher-end
stuff like that. Yeah. And like more name brand, higher end clothing. Now, was it still Goodwill quality? Yes. Was it a little bit more expensive? Also, yes. Was it mostly women's? Yes. There was like a rack of men's clothing and some shoes in the back. But that Goodwill was that's where I got the cat door for our bedroom door, brand new, never been opened in that box. And I got a whole book, like 1970s binder full of scrapbook paper.
Nice.
And it's like 90s scrapbook paper.
Yes.
I love it. I kind of like thumbed through it a little bit because there were like page protectors with like a bunch of paper, like different ones stuffed into it. And so when I got home, I pulled them all out and I actually got to like go through them and I was in hog heaven. I loved it. But yeah, and then next door to that on the other end was the bookstore, the Goodwill bookstore. And that's where they had like their movies. They didn't have a lot of movies. Books. They also carried newer books. So it wasn't all just donated stuff. And it was huge. It was a good bookstore. But for whatever reason, so their mysteries were labeled as crime. So I assumed that was true crime. And I at first avoided it. And then I like walked around the rest of the store and didn't see a mystery section. So I was like, well, let me look there. That's got to be it. So I'm looking and I had started and there was a guy over there. So I was like, well, let me go somewhere else. Well, I come back around and he's not there, right? So I assume this man's done in this section. So I start going down and looking. All of a sudden, this man pops up out of nowhere and lays in the floor in front of me. And I'm like, so he can like look at the bottom of the shelf that I'm currently standing in front of. And I'm like, what? So I finally like finish looking at this shelf, don't find anything. I walk around and he like crawls to get a better view of the shelf that I'm like, if you weren't done, why did you walk away and go look at other shelves?
Right.
And then wait until like, I don't know why it pisses me off so much, especially at like, if I have a buggy, because it's a clear indication of which direction I'm going.
Right.
Why are you going to come and stand directly in front of that? I hate that. It pisses me off. But I'm like, I'm clearly like moving this direction, looking in this section. Why did you pop up out of absolutely nowhere? He fell from the sky, I think, and just lay in the floor. And this is a grown man. This isn't like in his 20s.
Yeah.
This is like easily 50, mid 50s. And I'm like, are you going to be able to get back up? Anyway, so that was that. Day one, we end up going back to the room. I'm a night shower, so I took my shower at night. Get cozied up in the bed. Watch Love Island. And then go to bed because I was like, I need sleep. Get up the next day. We went for breakfast. We went and did more shopping. Hit up more Goodwills. I think that might be the day we went into Greenville because I went to that Massed General Store. I got to go into an Anthropologie and somebody complimented my outfit on the way out. It was very nice.
Nice.
I was very excited to go to an Anthropologie. I didn't buy anything because everything was too expensive, but nonetheless, and it felt like I felt too poor to walk in there.
Right.
But it was nice to look around. A lot of like home decor things. I think whenever we have just 2 pets left, I'm gonna get the like fancy like they've got a tile series like collection, and they've got pet bowls. Why is my Siri picking up? Anyway, they've got pet bowls, and I'm gonna get a couple of them
series.
Oh yeah. It almost never picks my voice up though, unless I push the button. But anyway, so I'm gonna get a couple of those for the girls when it's just the girls, for their dinner time. But yeah, so we did that. I went to a few bookstores. I loved the bookstores. I got a bunch of stickers. We went to Ollie's. I liked the Ollie's. We had one close to where we were staying. We were staying in Spartanburg. Which, we get home, right? I told you about that order of 600 aprons I've got to do. Mm-hmm. Guess where they shipped from?
Oh, yeah.
Spartanburg, South Carolina. I was looking at the invoice because I was like, how many aprons is this? It's 10 cases. And I'm like, how many is this? And I look at one of the invoices and it says 600. And I was like, good God. And then I looked and I was like, did you see where they shipped from?
You could have saved them some money.
Right. But yeah, so, and then Monday, we got up at the butt crack of dawn, and Sunday, me and Daniel went swimming and got in the hot tub, and Isaiah got himself locked out of the hotel room, and then also couldn't access the pool because he didn't have a key. And so... yeah, we went, so that was fun. Because I was like, I want to go swimming. This is probably the only time this year I will get in a swimming pool. Because I don't usually get into it at Ray Day because the kids are too much. And that's just, that's too much going on.
I don't generally swim. I might get in there for a few minutes on Ray Day.
Yeah.
But not.
But like, it was only us in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
So it was quite relaxing. It was lovely.
Here's my weird trait. Because I grew up with the swimming pool,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I've had one pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
And that's where I spent my summers, was in a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of a swimming pool. I'd rather go swim in a creek, a lake, a river, you know, something like that.
I like a swimming pool because I know it's clean.
Yes. But
because that was like the fear that my mother instilled in me. It was like parasites.
Yeah. But I feel like it recharges me to get in naturally occurring water.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Like, I've walked in a creek. I've like stood in a creek to take pictures. But I've never like swam in a creek.
I know for like around here, there's a Facebook page
Mm-hmm.
that will tell you like what the E. coli levels are in different areas so that you know if it's safe to swim or not.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. I like that.
We just last weekend went.
I feel like
hiking.
any is too many.
Well,
but that's just me.
Right. But we just went last weekend, quote unquote, hiking. It was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a very easy trail.
Yeah.
To go to the Narrows.
Mm-hmm.
And in that area where it's posted no swimming, went swimming with everyone else that was there.
But yeah, so we went swimming, all that. But Monday morning, we get up, butt cracking on, pack up. He packed up our crap and most of it in the car, the night before. And then, I we left. We go to Greer, which is where we also went to the BMW museum. I forgot about that. We did that on Saturday. We went to the BMW, the Ultimate Driving Museum, and went through their current exhibit. We got to see, the lady was very excited to tell us about the, I'm probably going to screw this up. It's a McLaren with a BMW engine. And she was like, they had only gotten it the 2 days prior. Like, it wasn't listed on the website yet. And it was only going to be there for a small window of time. I'm pretty sure it's a McLaren. It may not be on their website yet. Because it was very, very new.
It the BMW Zentrum museum?
No, the Zentrum is the other one. That one's closed. This is the Ultimate Driving Museum.
Oh, okay.
It's the BMW Car Club.
I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, so we went and did that. I liked that museum. It was warm in there.
It says, current exhibit, the BMW M3 40 Years of Evolution.
Yeah.
The 2026 exhibition celebrates 40 years of history. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say anything about a McLaren.
Yeah, they may not have it on there yet. Because when we arrived, she was like, it only got here 2 days ago. Like, they didn't have the QR code sheet or anything up yet for it. They just had, like, the sheet that they're given. But for all the other vehicles, there's, like, a QR code you could scan for more information. But that was cool. And then he bought a bunch of posters. Because he was like, bless his little heart, it's been bugging him, I think, that he doesn't have, like, decorative authority in this home. And I'm like, but
decorative authority.
Do you care? Do you actually care? I think he does actually care. So I was
He's got, like, a wall in y'all's bedroom.
He's got one wall, and I don't particularly care for a BMW poster in the bedroom. It's not re-entering the bedroom, but I'll add, like, some prints, because I like having the gallery wall where our bed is. So I'll add in some prints of his stuff, like postcards we get, whatever. And, like, frame them, make them look nice so they blend in and everything looks cohesive. But I told him, I was like, well, since I'm moving, like, concert posters to more in the living room and dining room, I was like, and not doing them all down the hallway, I was like, we can stagger them. I was like, so, and it'll look, I was thinking even about it last night, because he bought a frame, a frame to, like, start framing these. And, I was like, oh, that will actually be kind of nice. I was like, because we'll do one of my posters, which is, like, portrait, and then all of his posters are landscape. I was like, so we'll do one down the hall on both sides. I was like, and then with my posters, I'll interchange them and, you know, stuff like that. I said, because especially the ones in the living room, because I'm going to get 2 different frames and then decorate that way. But according to the vision I have in my head. And so it'll look nice. So we'll have, like, a mix of his car posters and my concert posters. And then, of course, he'll get to decorate his office however he wants. Whenever we get it moved and that room done, because he'll be losing. He's moving across the hall into where we used to record. Yeah. And it'll also be smaller because he's going to lose about 6 inches. But
because of the closet?
We're making the hallway wider.
That's right.
I was even looking, like, because we've got it, like, it's down to the studs, like, in the dining room. And I was like, man, that's going to be, I can't believe the hallway is going to be that wide. I was like, that's going to be so nice. But it'll be a work in progress. But yeah, so he'll get to decorate that room however he wants. I'm not. And then he also gets free reign over this guest bathroom, which he's been collecting Hot Wheels for this bathroom that are all toilet themed.
That's my pee-in bathroom formerly my pooping bathroom, but now I prefer to poop in Brittany's bathroom.
I prefer to poop in my bathroom. I don't like using this bathroom at all. That toilet sits in the floor.
This is true.
I hate that toilet.
I don't mind just to go pee in there, though. It's a quick pee route from here to there.
But anyway, so we get to there. We're pretty much right on time. He gets signed in. They tell him where he needs to go. Isaiah and I had to sign like on-site walk-up waivers.
Oh, Isaiah didn't participate?
No, he did not participate. We thought he might be able to ride along, but that was not the case. Because he didn't pay for a thing. And by the time he got around to booking it, which we told him this would happen, but by the time he got around to booking it, that class was already booked up. And the next one would have been like 2 hours. It would have started an hour later, which would have put us even later getting back. But so he and I just hung out on there was like a little patio, and I took my book and then I read. And they came around once, and Danny texted me and was like, I'm the last car in the line. I'm the last X5, the white one. So I took a picture of him coming around, and then they went around, and they got to go on a track. And then the last thing they did, because we couldn't see, there was no spectator area for that back track, but we got to see, him and one of the drivers. They loaded up 2 vehicles and went and did drifting on the track.
Nice.
Like they had the track was wet and everything, and so he got to ride along in that. But they also got to do a little speedy. They got a little speedy. So
nice.
And he said he enjoyed it.
Good.
And then he stole some coffee cups. He got
for legal purposes. He did not. He paid for them.
Well, it was like the free coffee station,
oh, okay,
so he took a couple of the paper BMW labeled cups, and then we went to the gift shop, and he got a discount. So just so you know, I paid. This was a 2-hour driving experience. It was like the learning school, whatever, and it was $350 for that 2-hour. And then you get I think it's a 10% discount in the gift shop if you do that. There's 3 locations for these. I know the West Coast has one, but we did the East Coast in South Carolina. I think that was probably the best gift I could have given him, was that sort of experience.
I'm glad he enjoyed it. I'm glad y'all had a good time.
Yeah. And then we left there. We went over to where the BMW plant is, because they also have an exhibit in another gift shop that's the Zenith one. I'm probably saying that wrong. He's probably listening to this rolling his eyes right now. But it was closed for maintenance. They were redoing Zentrum. That's it. Why did I say Zenith? That's like an old browser, I think. Or I don't know. There's a computer thing that's Zenith. He'll inform me. Anyway, the Zentrum exhibit was closed, and then the gift shop over there wasn't open either. So
there's a Zenith Bank, Zenith AI.
I don't know.
Zenith Mattress. Zenith.
I think I'm thinking of mattresses. I think that's it. Zenith mattresses. But anyway, so we left there, got on the road. We went in. We kind of took the back roads a little bit because we did the Tail of the Dragon.
Oh yeah, that was one of the coolest things that I had ever done with my ex-husband. We went down the tail.
What were you in?
In his truck. It wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah. Because since we started at the South Carolina side or North Carolina side and drove into Tennessee that way. I took nausea medicine beforehand.
Sorry to say, it's very back and forth.
It wasn't too bad, in a V. I think if I had been in, the Forerunner that his stepmom has, would have thrown up no matter what. Or if we had been, in maybe, say, one of the minis or something. I think that it wouldn't have been it would have been a little bit more scary. Because I hesitated to say after the fact that I was a little underwhelming. But if you're on a motorcycle, it's scary. Because there's and there's like a photographer that's like posted up.
Well, and it's like there's no service through there.
No,
so
there's none.
If you go off the bank, then you're off the bank. You better hope that somebody saw you do it.
We stopped at what is it, Deal's Gap? Is that so we like stopped in there, did a little did a little shopping and stuff. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a Killjoy gift shop now. And we went in there. They had a bunch of stickers and stuff. I didn't carry my purse over there. Otherwise, I would have gotten one. But I didn't. I got a pressed penny, though. I got 2 pressed pennies. But, yeah, there was a tree down at the 5-mile mark that was, like, completely across the road. So it was basically like a word-of-mouth situation the whole way because, like, there's no service. And they were, like, stopping people. But it didn't take long. Some rando went up there and with a chainsaw and cleared it out. Because like there was somebody going through with a U-Haul.
Oh shit! And
one of the motorcycle drivers like stopped them and was like, "Hey, there's a tree down." And then somebody was like, "They got it cleared up." And they're like, and there's traffic that's like coming back or coming down the hill. So he was like, oh, "Okay, well, I guess you're good." It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It is.
We stopped at like the Dragon's Overlook. That was really nice. Me and him both looked up and we're like, where'd Isaiah go? He's like climbed up the top of a little hill. He's just standing there. But yeah, so, and then finally we made it back. We made it back home. We went to the cat museum too. I forgot about that. The American Museum the Museum of the American House Cat, something like that, which they have 5 live-in cats. They had 2 ragdoll kittens. One of them kind of smelled like poopy. And that's one of the reasons why I would never have a ragdoll. Because they do be getting poopy on them. So, but they were very, very cute.
I saw a cat last night.
Did you?
We went to PetSmart. I think I was going to tell you this earlier and I got distracted.
Yeah.
PetSmart had, it was its little information card said it was a Siamese. But it was, I have a picture of it, but it's not good. Because you gotta take a picture through the glass.
Yeah.
It was, because when I say Siamese, I think like cream colored with the black or whatever.
Or like dark gray, yeah.
This
little
was
cross-eyed.
This was a darker gray, almost the color of Little Cat, but grayer. Where Little Cat had a little brown to her. This was all gray, almost blue. With blue eyes that were just ever so slightly crossed.
Yeah.
The most beautiful cat I think I've ever seen. And I was like, I wish TJ was not allergic and I could deal with the litter box because 10 out of 10 for $150, that baby would have been coming home with me.
Right.
It was so beautiful.
I think because I think Ziggy's time is near.
I don't want to talk about it.
It is nigh. Because he's getting a little bit more incontinent. And that's no way for us to live, and that's no way for him to live. Because I was like, look, I've kind of been looking into it, because I'm like, how do you know when? Especially when they're elderly and they're not like unhealthy. Like there's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
Other than he's old.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how do you know? And a lot are like, when they start getting incontinent and it's like, it impacts their dignity as well.
It's a dignity thing.
So, and he's a little bit more unsteady every day. Yeah. It's, I think it's, like I told him, I was like, when we get back from our trip, I was like, I feel like this is a conversation we need to like have. And cause he's just, bless his heart. I see pictures of him when we got him. We've only had him 2 years.
He looks so old.
He looks so much different. Like, he has aged so much.
But it's crazy because the picture I sent y'all while y'all were gone.
Yeah.
Is a completely different cat than what I'm looking at today. Like, he looks healthy today.
Yeah.
The other day, he looked like he was dead and didn't know it.
Right.
Like, it was...
I mean, he has his... Like, some days he looks worse.
I was waiting for him to go like undead and come after me.
And we prepared, because, like, I was like, I mean, he is old. I was like, I didn't think about it, because Danny was kind of making fun of it. He was like, why is she worried that he is going to croak while we're gone? I was like,
sure.
he's old. I was like, it's a valid concern.
I didn't think about it until I was talking to TJ about it, and I was like, oh, I didn't even consider that to be a possibility.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to ask her about that.
Yeah. And I was like, honestly, valid concern. So like we cleared space in the freezer and had like a pillowcase ready just in case. Luckily didn't need it, but yeah, so poor little Ziggy. He was very happy to see us though.
Yeah.
He tried to get a second dinner out of us.
Yeah, because I came by earlier in the night to feed him, and he definitely, like the night before, I was a little bit worried because he didn't eat all of his dinner, and then he disappeared.
Yeah,
and I was like, "That's not
not normal." Yeah,
what's happening? And I could not, for the life of me, find him because I was like, I was by myself first of all, and then didn't bring the kids with me that day. He had crawled up in my lap. We sat in that chair that you're sitting in for forever, just cuddled up. Just hanging out. Then I finally made him get down so I could go love on the girls. And then I fed everybody, and he ate while I was finishing up feeding everybody. And then when I got done and came back in from feeding George, he was gone. Yeah. And I was like, there's still food in his bowl. He didn't touch anybody else's food. What is happening? And then I couldn't find him. And then I finally found him curled up in his little bed out here. Yeah. In his heated one. Yeah. And I was like, that's kind of strange. That's kind of odd. I was so scared.
That is a little bizarre for him.
I was like, I'm going to get here tomorrow if I have to come, and he's going to be dead. But then the next day, and that was the day that I took the picture where he was looking a little bit zombie-ish. I get here the next day, and he's fine, and finished up his food, proceeded to finish up what Willow didn't eat. And I'm sure he licked Amara's bowl clean after I left.
Once Willow is done, him and Amara will play musical bowls until everybody is a member of the Clean Plate Club. Yeah. It's insane. And he'll leave food in his bowl to go lick out of somebody else's.
Well, and they all had super clean bowls because I had they were starting to look a little gross. So I was like,
they get a little crusty, but
I was like, let me wash these. So I washed everybody's bowls, including, I didn't do Toby's because when I went out there to get them, he was not happy with me that I didn't have food in hand. So I was like, you get to eat out of a crusty bowl then. But I did do George's and his water bowl. I washed them really good.
Yeah, his water bowl gets real funky.
Toby's is disgusting.
He washed his the other day.
That's what I was looking for.
Because I was like, why are there leaves in the sink?
Well, it was like red, from the algae, I guess. But I was like, I'm excited to wash this. This is going to be satisfying. And then I get out there and he's like, Rawr!
He's like, hell no.
And he's like hissing at me.
Stranger danger.
Empty-handed. And I'm like, you get to eat and drink out of dirty shit then.
See, that's generally why I just leave it. If anybody's going to clean it, it's generally going to be Danny because I'm not lingering out there as
right.
Because he says he doesn't like me very much, but and then real quick, I wanted to touch on the places we ate out. So the first night Isaiah kept talking about he had a whole list of places he wanted to go eat. Every time I was decided to, I don't know, whatever, I don't. And I'm like, do you want to go eat at these places? Oh, we can eat wherever. But on our way in, at the exit off of the interstate, we see this place called Miami Grill. And it's got a drive-through. And we're like, what is that? So he looked up the menu over the night or earlier in the day that day or whatever. So we decided to eat there. And we're like, well, we'll just go in. We go in. And the more we're looking around, the worse it looks. Okay. It's looking quite run down. But nevertheless, we persist. We order.
Sometimes the more rundown places are the better ones.
Girl. I go get us a table. I sit down. And I'm looking at the table. And I'm like, does Pitbull own this shit? This is a Pitbull owned.
The
restaurant. Like Mr. Worldwide.
Okay.
Pitbull. And so, but we get our food, bomb. It's so good. It was so good that we contemplated eating there a second night.
That's when you know it's good.
Yeah. Like, we were getting, like, even Isaiah was like, my hopes were being diminished by the second. The more I looked around and the more he's like, we walk in and I'm like, we about to get sick.
Yep.
I got the fish and chips. Danny got...
That was bold.
Yes. It was very good, though. It was very good.
Ask Maddie about fish and chips.
Listen, I was
at an area where there is no...
Well, I had hopes because we're in South Carolina. We're not that far from the coast. So I was like, I definitely want to eat seafood while we're here. And so that's what I ordered. Danny got I think he got the Philly cheesesteak, which he only was able to eat half because that thing was like that long, but it did not microwave well. So, it did upset his tummy then, like, later that night when he ate the other half. And then Isaiah got a burger. He was like, that's one of the best burgers I've ever had. And I'm like, that food was good. Like, I would come here again. So, yeah, we were very, like, it was very, because he wanted to eat there because he was like, it's giving Miami Vice. Like, it's 80s vibes. And it looks like it hasn't been touched since the 80s. Like, there's corners in that place that have not been cleaned since the 80s.
Yes.
It was kind of grubby. Like, it was giving gross. But the food was delicious. It was hot. It was fresh. It was good. Yeah. 10 out of 10. Would go again. The second night we went to, or on our last night, we went to, because we ate at Buc-ee's on the way in on Friday. And then the second night we went to Blue Bay, I think it was what it was called, because I was like, I want seafood. I was like, I don't care what y'all get. I was like, if we got to eat at separate places, that's fine. Just take it to go. I was like, but I want seafood. So he started, because they were talking about going to CC's Pizza, and I was like,
we have CC's at home.
That's what I said. I said, first of all, we got CC's at home. Second of all, I don't want to be eating all that cheese right before a road trip.
Right.
I was like, because I don't want diarrhea on a road trip. I don't want to get on Tail of the Dragon and have to shit. With no service, And
a hot minute till you get to the
exactly. So, we ended up going with Blue Bay Seafood Restaurant, and I got, what did I get? Hold on, I'll tell y'all what I got. I got the baby flounder and baby shrimp, which is just like popcorn shrimp. Mm-hmm. And the baby flounder still had some scales on it, like some fins on it. Oh. But it was good. It was really good. And they they make their ranch, and they clearly make their tartar sauce, because that tartar sauce was hitting. I love tartar sauce. But I think having the cocktail sauce with my shrimp escalated an already growing, starting to grow canker sore in my mouth.
Oh no, yeah.
Because I have never had a canker sore this bad in my life. I was miserable, for the first part of this week. Because I have this pen, it's called a Kanka. It's Kanka something pen. And you twist it, and there's a brush, and you brush it on. Usually for a canker sore, I just have to use it once, and then it clears it up. I could not find it, and I'm without a vehicle because we had to have our car towed. My parents met the car here at the house, by the way, to get the key at 11 o'clock at night. My mom was like, he drove so slow. I was like, that poor little Chinese man was not ready for this road because it is curvy and hilly.
Oh, and Chinese?
Yeah. And I was like, he was not ready. So he probably drove about 5 miles an hour bringing that car up, because he was like, oh, I'm 5 minutes away, but it still took him another 10 minutes. And my dad was like, I was surprised it started right up, and he drove it off of the tow truck. And we're like, yeah, it runs, but it's not going to stay running,
right? Because
it wouldn't have made it back to the house. He was going to try and drive it back to the house, but he was like, no, I don't want to tear it up further. And he was like, so it's better to just not do that. But it does start and will drive, but no, I don't know what's broken. He's told me multiple times, but I don't know. It's a maintenance part. It's something that he thought I should change this before this trip, and then was like, I'll change it after, it'll be fine. And then it broke on the trip. Luckily, only about an hour away from home. So there's that. But anyways, I'm without a vehicle, so I couldn't go to Walmart to get this canker sore pen. My Adderall that I took this morning is wearing off. It's gone. It has fled the scene. But anyway, that was the word. It was huge, that canker sore. It was massive. Like the stone on your ring, that's how big that canker sore was.
Oh, shit.
It was huge.
That's not to say that my ring is a big ring. Don't get
for a canker sore. Yeah, that's huge.
I'm not wearing like a huge. My ring is decent size.
Yeah, it's a nice size. But like it was so huge that like if I ran my hand across the outside, like where it was in my mouth, I could feel how swollen it was. And I was just squeezing. Danny was like, I don't know that I've ever had a canker sore. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I get them all the time. I look it up. They're stress induced mostly. And like acidic foods. And I'm like, glad I didn't have orange juice. Cause I used to get them really bad when I drank a lot of orange juice. But that's the worst one I've ever had. That thing was massive. But I'm like squeezing Orajel in there. It's doing nothing. And then I forgot to bring it to work with me. And of course, we're in the Mini and I can't drive that. It's a stick shift. I'm too dumb. I can't drive a stick shift. There's too much shit going on. And so I can't just go up to the store, get more Orajel so this thing will at least stay numb. Finally, I find my canker sore pen and I douse it in that shit. And it's still there, but it doesn't hurt anymore. So it's clearing up. One time, that thing is a miracle pen.
So you're talking about places that you went to eat while we were in Clearwater. So we went to Hooters Friday for lunch. Dinner, we went to, no. I take that back. Thursday, we went to dinner at this place called, I think it was something, I don't remember the name of it. But it was like on that main strip of road.
Yeah.
It was good. The next night, Friday night, I was like, it was later. It was like almost 9:00 before we decided to finally go get dinner. Okay. We're trying to figure out something to eat. And I'm like, okay, well, this place has Cajun chicken pasta. I want that. That sounds really good. So it's a place that we ate in December. So we just went back. Get there, and I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, why does everything on this menu look familiar? It's literally the same restaurant with different names as the first place that we went to. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, no.
So then the last night that we were there, Saturday night, we ate at a place called Frenchie's Beachside something. Anybody that's been to Clearwater, you know it. It was good. It was good. They have a pretzel that is shaped like a fish. It looks fake.
It does look fake.
That was the best pretzel.
Really?
It was so good.
Nice.
It was so good.
You sent me a picture of that. I was like, she just sent me a picture of a pretzel shaped like a fish.
It was so good. Also, I have pictures that I did not post that I need to show you, but I don't want to talk about it on here. Okay. I have a list of things that I need to talk to you about when we get done.
Okay.
Anyway, so all that was good. That place that I had breakfast, I was mad that I didn't learn about that earlier.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't have eaten Pop-Tarts all weekend. All
right. I only have one other thing on my list to talk about. Love Island.
Okay.
I'm not going to dive too much into it. So, because I missed the first 2 or 3 episodes of this season because they watch it in the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, you've been watching Love Island. Hi. Welcome to my TED Talk. I've never watched Love Island. Pixie streams her version of The Sims. I call that one Real Love Island. And that's how I've kind of I know the format.
I started to say the premise.
The premise. I know what's going on in terms of why we're here. Why are we gathered here today? However, so at this point in the season, last night was the recoupling after Casa Amor. So Casa Amor is where they split the couples up. and they are basically like testing these connections. Because this season, apparently this is not normal. These people are 100% committed, acting like they married since day one. And producers, I think, are getting a little upsetty spaghetti with them. They're like, come on, give us something. Now, there's Bryce and Zach. And I hate Zach. I hate him with a burning passion. And
about that name.
I don't like him.
There's also a Zach on another show that we have started to watch.
Yeah.
That we don't like.
So, don't like him. There's Corbin GPT, who sounds like he was written by ChatGPT. And he has now hooked up with Parmina, who is the female version of ChatGPT. And it was messy. So, that was, and he literally, so the boys get to Casa Amor, right? And they don't know that their interactions with the new women are being live streamed to the women that they have been in connection with for like 3 weeks, right? And so immediately out the gate, Corbin is like, fuck Kinsey, I don't want nothing to do with her. Kinsey is the one, I don't know if you have seen anything on your algorithm at all. So if you hear anything about the girl from Love Island who likes to do the splits, that's Kinsey. If you hear anything about the one on Love Island that thinks she should be a nurse but absolutely should not because she is not qualified, because she tried to explain to one of the other guys who said he had 20/30 vision, which was really, really good, and she tried to tell him, no, that means your vision is really, really bad. And her personality is, I went to nursing school and I can do the splits. Bless her heart. I don't particularly care for her very much, but I enjoy the enthusiasm and how confident she is when she says something that is completely wrong. But immediately Corbin gets in Casa Amor. I don't like her. Don't have anything in common with her. She's out the window. Da-da-da-da-da. He ain't been in Casa Amor 30 seconds. And then we got KC. Fuck KC. I hate him. I hate him so much. So he was, I guess, on first night. So there's something, I don't know, there's something to do with doors. And he didn't have anybody behind his. But ever since then, him and Anaya have been coupled up. And he has done nothing but whine this whole time. And she seems so sweet. And she's like, he wanted to explore with somebody else because they brought in a bombshell. It's a whole thing. I love Soul. She seems nice. But she ended up getting kicked off almost immediately because I think she was not prepared emotionally for the show. And so anyway, Casey comes back. He's brought this other, I'm TT. TT, we voting you out of here. You are on my nerves already. She comes in acting like even Anaya goes, is this Bad Girls Club? What is going on?
Y'all ain't getting no sleep. I didn't get no sleep because of y'all.
Oh, it's so much worse than that. I even said in the Discord last night, I was like, TT ain't gonna get no rest while she in this house. I was like, I think TT thinks she gonna be smooth sailing because she coupled up. Because all these girls, that's the one thing, is like, yes, they're all in competition with each other, but all of these girls are pretty good at like hyping each other up and all this. And Trinity is like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. He's a grown man. I'm talking to him. I love Trinity and Bryce. That was so cute. They ended up, both of them were in Casa Amor pining for one another, and both worried that the other wasn't going to pick them when they went back to the villa. It was so cute. And then he shows up, and because she's like, I'm going to stay loyal to Bryce. He shows up with he does not have a woman on his arm, and they are matching in pale yellow, and it is just so cute. He runs to her. Oh, it was just adorable.
Get ready for this to not get aired. Get ready to have to fight this.
Oh shit. But and then him sitting behind her while she's yelling at TT is just his face the whole time is gold. I love it because he's like, yeah, that's my girl.
So, okay, explain this show. So is it like, couples come to see if they can make it through?
No.
Okay.
They're all single. They're all in their 20s and they're all single.
And they're trying
to find a perfect match for them over the course of the summer. So this show runs the villa's in Fiji, and like it's apparently also filmed at the same beach as Survivor. So while people are like
fighting for their
lives down the beach, this is going on. And then Casa Amor is also like they could hear each other the first night of Casa Amor, because the girls heard them hooting and hollering over at the house where the boys had gone, and they had seen the live stream of them damn near fingering buttholes 30 seconds after meeting these other women. Well, then there's also one girl who people dug up receipts on her. She ended up getting kicked out because she had said some slurs all over the internet. And so they ended up giving her the boot and just basically just throwing up a little line, hey, she's no longer in the villa. And she was the one, now when I say I don't like Zach, this is why. Because he would have 100% brought her back to the villa and thrown it in Kata's face. Even though Kata picked him, she decided to stay loyal to him. If that girl had not had been kicked off the show, I guarantee he would have brought her back. And it would have been, and I don't know, that's the thing we don't, as an audience, don't know, that if Kata knows she was second pick, that he stayed with her by default because he didn't want to be vulnerable and single. Because if you're vulnerable and single, you can get kicked off the show, get voted off. Or one of the girls when I first started watching, there was Beatrice, and she was a amputee who also I think she's like an Olympic runner or something. But she ended up there was a recoupling that was voted on, and then because she was left single, she was kicked off the show. Basically, that happened to her, and then Sean I saw him get kicked off, and then an episode or two later, she got kicked off. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this, but for anybody who is waiting for the season to end to watch all the episodes. But yeah, so there's all of that's gone on. And basically the winning couple at the end gets $100,000. And if it's not Trinity and Bryce, I don't believe in love anymore, because them two were so cute. I was like, why? I think he's the oldest. He'll be 30 this year, I think he said, and she's 20. So it's kind of it's a little bit weird, but I think the reason why those two work as well as they do is because they start yes, they got coupled up from the beginning, by however the system does, however it worked, because I didn't see those episodes. But they initially started they approached it as friendship and hey, let's actually get to know each other, because them two will sit and gossip, got little gossip queens, and chit chat. And I think that's because whenever they got split up and for Casa Amor, they didn't have that. But Bryce and Zach be doing gay stuff. I just need you to know. They be doing gay stuff. They did a girth check in one of the recent episodes. Yeah. And then Zach had to sit with a pillow in his lap when he was talking about Bryce's wiener on the couch. It was weird. It's weird. They haven't been doing as much gay stuff lately. I think the producers are okay, we need to pull back. We need to make it, they're not gay. They just keep doing gay stuff, and we just show it a lot.
Right. Because
every morning, guess who is laid up in the bed with Zach? Bryce. Or guess who's laid up in the bed with Bryce? Zach. At bedtime, Trinity got to come in there and kick Zach out of their bed. It's crazy. And then Kenzie and Corbin, before Corbin went to Casa Amor, somebody was I think it was Trinity. She was somebody in there. So all the couples sleep in the same room, right? And their night is filmed. Everything is filmed except for like showers and toilet time. And so Trinity wakes up the next morning and she's like, me and Bryce were like, somebody in here, that's more than kissing. That does not sound like kissing. And she said it sounded like somebody was getting French fried.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's not the term I would have used.
Right. That was a choice.
I would have said, I probably would have been like, it sounded like somebody in there stirring mac and cheese. But you get yeah. And then, but the last night, then he goes over to Casa Moore and he's like, Kenzie, never heard of her. I don't know who she is. And he hooks up with, the one that was interested in this guy, Caleb, on there, I honestly keep forgetting that him and Jen are even on the show. This poor guy, he done had 2 women stole from him from Bourbon. That's what we call him in the Discord. Somebody misspelled it one night, and then we were like, no, that suits him. But so he done stole 2 women from Caleb, the cowboy, and he's like, and then the last night in Casa Moore, them 2 were clearly fucking in the bed, clearly. And it's like, yeah, he's not even going to attempt to go and say, oh, I'm staying loyal to Kenzie.
I almost feel like I would enjoy this show. I got sucked into
it's so
a show
trashy.
called Ultimatum. Mm-hmm. So basically the premise of that show is like couples go on that have been together and one of them wants to get married, the other one's not sure. And then they'll pair up with somebody else and go live with that person for, I forget how long it is, like a week or 2 or whatever. Yeah. And then see if they emerge from living with someone else to appreciate their partner more, and if they want to take that step.
Yeah.
I have yet to watch The Ultimatum in a straight version. I have watched, I think it's 2 seasons of the queer version. Well, there might be more seasons than that. I watched the 2 lesbian seasons. I quite enjoyed that show. It was messy.
I'm telling you. There's been episodes where I'm like, why did y'all get me watching this shit? This is not good. These people, I feel like the season 8 Love Island, I should have started maybe earlier, get in on this, because this was not what I was expecting. But last night's episode was very redeemable. It was predictable in the way that like the recoupling went. It was very predictable. But I downloaded the Love Island app for the first time last night because that's where like viewers get to vote, is through the Love Island app. And I so badly want Carl to come back for Anaya, and I swear to God, if Anaya screws this up, because she was saying all these nice things about him, and he was being very, very sweet, and he was actually trying to, they were actually having conversations, and like, she was like, I'm gonna stay loyal to KC. Well, here comes KC's trifling ass around the corner with TT on his arm, and he's like looking all smug and just being just generally unappealing, and both of them giving me the ick. I can't wait to vote them off. And then while she's sitting there crying because she's like telling Casey, because his whole problem is that nobody was behind his door on the first day. And everybody's like, it was the first day. We didn't know you. And she's like, I've picked you every time. She's like, in challenges, I've picked you. She's like, all of this stuff, I've picked you. And she's like, and then when it's time for you to pick me, you don't. And Carl is having to stand there and watch this. And he is sitting there crying and under his breath going, it's okay, Anaya. It's okay. And I'm like, ah! I'm like, and then Ariana, who I'll have to show you.
Girl, this episode's like 2 hours long.
It really is. I'm landing the plane. Don't worry. I'm going to mention this and then I'm going to be done with Love Island. But Ariana, the host, hottie with a body. And then, but she announces at the end that there's going to be, you can vote to bring back, I didn't even mention Sincere and Melanie because I'm so fed up with them. But anyway, you can bring back one of the girls from Casa Amor and one of the guys from Casa Amor. I said, get this app. Me and this man both got this app because he's sitting there watching this episode with me. And I was like, get this app. We got to vote. I was like, because we got to get Carl back in this house. And I'm like, I swear to God, if Anaya screws this up. And I'm like, and I've been looking at Instagram comments. If Carl does not come back and is some other son of a bitch, it's rigged. But then I also voted for the woman that Sincere was fucking with in Casa Amor, and is like, he came back to Melanie because they're toxic. They're like that high school couple that breaks up at homeroom and then by lunchtime they're back together and fawning. They're like that. Because she was like, I'm gonna stay loyal to Sincere, and first of all, he said epitome. Don't even get me started.
That's one of those words I was telling you about earlier where I read it the way it's spelled and it's not right.
When he's got a metaphor for everything. It's Sincere, and if his hand's up, he lying. That's insincere. Anyway. So I voted for the woman that he was screwing around with in Casa Amor because that is going to be messy if she comes into the villa. That's going to be so messy. I'm just going to eat that up. But I got to get Carl back. And Anaya, if you screw it up, that's on you, girl. Because he seems like a nice man. He's the only one of this cast, like, because they brought bombshells in. And, like, some of them, their exes are like, he sucks. I would not. Carl is the only one with an ex who has been like, he's lovely. He's a dear. Like, yeah, go for it, girl. He is so nice. So, and also that triggered all of us in the Discord because we couldn't keep track. There were like 12 new boys, and we're like, what are all your names? So now they're all Carl, but it's like one of them kind of looks like Taylor Lautner, so we called him Carl Lautner. He left. I think his name was Corey. And then there was another one that was like crazy-eyed Carl. But then we got Carl. That's the tall one that we're voting back in. But anyway, yeah, I like Love Island. I never thought I would. I never foresaw myself being here, but I'm so excited. It's coming. It's about an hour till it starts.
Yeah, so. That's why I realized how long we'd be going.
Yeah.
You want me to go through my list, or you want to pick up with it on the next episode?
Go through it.
Okay. First on my list that I want to talk about today, the Murdaugh case.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you, I understand why they had to go back and take another look at this case. I get it. But I'm pissed. Okay? Did you hear about that?
No.
So you know about the Murdaugh case, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For any of y'all listening, big to-do man in this town has children that are entitled. Okay? Mm-hmm. One of them, at least, was a fucking problem. Okay? We'll just say that.
Yeah.
Family has money. He's spending it. They go out on a boat. Mm-hmm. The kid and a bunch of his friends go out on a boat, have a boat wreck. Somebody dies. Okay? It's a whole thing. Mm-hmm. Everything that this kid does gets covered up somehow, or it's blamed on somebody else.
Yeah.
Because daddy's got money and knows the right people.
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, kid and mom are dead. Mm-hmm. And dad finds them. Okay? It's suspicious. They find the dad guilty. Finally, in court. Yeah. But this is a huge case. Like, it's all over national news at this point. Okay? It's a huge case. Here recently, because the court reporter was talking, was it the court reporter? Whoever it is that talks to the jurors to kind of give them the rundown on here's what to expect, blah, blah, blah. She was saying things to the jurors like, don't let, basically telling them that everything that he says is going to be a lie. She was trying to sway their votes. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the background,
can't be doing that.
She's writing a book about this.
Oh, shit.
So then this all comes to surface and they have to go back and everything has been thrown out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pissed.
I mean,
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you.
Another thing that I wanted to bring up that I found,
Mm-hmm.
it was on another podcast that I'll watch. I've heard of it and I know about it, but like this particular take on it really floored me. The pink tax. Literally, you will have two products. So like, for instance, they showed side by side, you'll have women's razors and men's razors side by side. They're the exact same thing. Okay? Exact same thing. Just one is pink and marketed for women and is like $1 more. And that goes for everything. Like there was a kit that they showed that was like a hotel room kit, and it literally lists out everything that's in the kit. It's like a travel toothbrush, toothpaste, I don't remember, wipes, something else, like stuff that men and women both use. It was the exact same thing in both of these kits. The women's was pink and was marketed as women's. The other one was blue and marketed as men's. And the women's was at least $1 more.
Yeah.
And it's like that for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
Mm-mm.
It is not
It's,
fair.
I think they refer to that as like the pink tax.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Tell me you were not listening.
I'm dealing with a bit of a situation.
But it just it blew my mind. Because, and here's the theory behind it. Men are just going to get what men get.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're just buying what's cheap, most of them.
Right.
Women are going to be more tempted to see something, see the price, and be like, oh, this is a little more pricey. It's probably better for me. Let me get it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's the same thing in different packaging. It's like, even like Bic pens.
Yeah.
They had a line of 4 women.
Yeah.
And they were like pink and purple.
Yeah.
And they weren't even that good.
Yeah.
And they were more expensive. And
so, all this to say, do your research on stuff before you buy. Quite literally everyone. Because just because it is more expensive and it's marketed for women doesn't mean that it's any different than the men's.
yeah.
Another thing I'd like to talk about. The veil has been non-existent lately.
Yeah.
Guys. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, the veil between the living and the not. Okay? It's non-existent here lately. I literally was standing in my front yard the other night, and I sent Brittany a video. My dogs have been really kind of like, something's up. They're sniffing in the air a lot more. They're more attentive to what's going on in the woods around us. I'm standing in the front yard, and the kids even noticed that the dogs were alerting to an area of the woods, but we didn't see anything. Now, I will say there have been bears spotted in our, in areas around us. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting to look up, and there's a big old black bear in my front yard. So I'm kind of cautious watching that, but I hear something walking in the woods, but I can't see anything.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's, because usually I can tell if it's like a deer or if it's like a coyote, because like you can tell a difference in the footsteps, but I couldn't decipher with this.
Yeah.
And then if you stand there and get quiet, like you can hear the road noise, but like you hear singing and laughing and screaming. And it sounds like it's in the distance, like it could be across the highway, but also sounds like it's coming from the woods right there next to my house. It's nuts. I almost feel like it almost sounded like it was playing on a loop, because, I've said I feel like there's some minor civil war or something going on in my yard. I feel like it's residual. This is what it sounded like when all this was going down.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
Just thought I would share that. It was weird. Tell me about your...
Oh, yeah. So the other night, I forget which night it was.
I have one more thing after this.
Was it Thursday night, maybe? I think it was Thursday night.
I don't remember.
I went to sleep, right? And like I woke up because Amara started hacking up a lung, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I hear Danny get up and is like trying to pat her on the back and stuff, make her feel better. I went back to sleep. Well, I didn't know that was just the middle bit of a whole sequence of stuff going on. So Willow, I guess, got up. Like, I think he was still awake. And Willow got up acting like she was after something. And he's like trying to help her find it because he's like, what are we after? She's like interested, trying to get in the bathroom. He opens it, ain't nothing in there. And he's like looking around. He's got his little flashlight out. He's like, what is it? She's like staring at the wall and stuff. It's crazy. This man downloads a ghost hunting app. Him and Willow are prowling. He's got this going on. I'm asleep. I'm passed out. I learn about it the next morning. And in the middle of that ghost hunt is when Amara starts to hack up a hairball. But the next morning he goes, oh yeah, me and Willow went ghost hunting last night. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it was like 2:00 in the morning. She just woke up in the middle of he was like, she just woke up, dove in the floor and started chasing something that was not there. And I'm like, okay. I was like, are you sure it wasn't just like a bug or something? He goes, we couldn't find anything.
And this is literally right after I had just said to her, and it might have been Thursday even that I said that to you, that I was like, for the first time, and I can't remember how long, me coming to your house to feed the cats by myself, I felt safe. Yeah. I did not feel like I was being watched. This
house is pretty chill.
It's been so chill for so long.
I don't know. I told him last night, I was like, I think she's just got demons in her blood, and sometimes she's just got to run around and do crazy shit.
Did he catch anything on the app, though?
I think he got, like, a few words, but it wasn't anything that, like, I don't think it, like, meant anything to me or, you know, whatever. He was like, he read them off to me. But I'm like, what in the hell? And I'm like, y'all had a time last night.
Lord.
Ghost hunting in the middle of the night with Willow.
Well, here's my TV show that I
yeah.
And so this brought forth also a revelation that I will get to.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to, I'm always late to the game on TV shows. But, I'll finish a show and then I'm like, let me find something else to watch. And I'm good about finding like little 1 to 2 season shows. I just recently, when we went to Clearwater, I had downloaded an entire show, an entire series, but it was only like 2 seasons long. And I, by the way, hated how it ended.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty pissed that it's canceled. It was called, oh my God. It was called Shrill.
Oh, never heard of that.
It was like, this is what Google says. It's a fat young woman trying to make it as a journalist while challenging society's expectations of her body. And she lives with her best friend, who is a larger lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, also the main character is going through like love triangles and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It was a really cute show.
Mm-hmm.
I will say,
at first I was like, what does her being fat have to do with anything? And then and I'm like, okay.
I don't like the way it worded that, but
I mean, that doesn't bother me. But as long as it's part of the story,
right? It definitely is.
Yeah.
But I got, and I feel terrible. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I'm going to let that go. Anyway, so I watched that. It was like 2, maybe 3 seasons long. 3 seasons. On Hulu, and it's a cute little show. I was pissed at the way it ended because it left it so open-ended.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
And then it got canceled.
When it feels like it was meant to have at least one more season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it would have been nice to have one more season just to wrap up some stuff. Yeah.
So I finished that one rather quickly. So I was like, okay, let me find a different show. So
I'm
here I am
excited
again.
to find out what it is.
here I am again, late to the show. I started watching Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. You are in for a treat.
I'm
Prepare
in season 3.
to be pissed.
I'm in season 3. And spoiler alert, I'm at the point
that show went off the air like 10 years ago.
I know.
So if you hadn't watched it, now if I would recommend the books are so much better.
I might get there, but I'm at the point now to where the first A was figured out. Mona went to Mona's working for somebody else. I already know. And then Toby, they had discovered that Toby's in cahoots with Mona. But I figure I'm thinking that there's something behind the scenes because I don't feel like he's really vindictive. I don't feel like he's really a bad guy. There's so many opportunities. Like this show, it just
what season are you on?
3.
You are in for a ride. Well, listen, I'll say it's been a long time since I've seen it, but what you think you know, you don't.
Well, it's pissing me off because it feels like they're just dragging it out.
Oh, 100%. And they
like,
drug that shit through the mud.
And I'm kind of bored
the only saving grace for that show is the showrunner herself. She was the only saving grace for that show because I forget what her name was, but she's the one that like kept it at least moderately interesting. And like at the time when it was on, because like we would have Pretty Little Liars parties and like get together in groups and watch it.
Who?
I cannot remember her name, but she was like the showrunner for that show.
What do you mean by showrunner?
She was like the creative, like behind the scenes lady.
Okay, I got you.
And like if you type that, like type in showrunner for Pretty Little Liars.
Marlene King?
Yes, Marlene King. Lovely.
Who is we got together for parties?
Me, Dustin,
okay,
KK, Allie.
I thought that you and him watched that together.
No, we watched it to the bitter end.
Well, so
because KK was pregnant with her second child, and we're like having a little Pretty Little Liars night because it came on Tuesdays, and she was at the house, and she was like, "I gotta walk this baby out." And we're like walking up and down the neighborhood. Her and Dustin are walking, and then me and Allie are following them in the car because it's freezing, and it's like if she gets too cold, we'll put her in the car. Yeah. Meanwhile, the car did not have heat, because it was that Honda Allie had. But yeah, so what you think you know, you don't know.
Well, so I'm watching this, and I did not realize that Holly Marie Combs was in this show.
Oh yeah,
watching her.
She's Aria's mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here is the revelation that I've had watching her, and I know that in the past I have been like, okay, so my gay awakening back in the day was this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
No, truthfully, the revelation that I've had. Holly Marie Combs was my gay awakening, and I didn't know it because I was charmed. Charmed was my life.
Yeah.
And she was my favorite character. I just thought that she was the most beautiful thing, but it never registered to me that
you was crushing on her.
Girl. And I'm looking at her now, and I'm like, let me just look up everything that she's ever been in so I can watch all of it. But she's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
And like I've seen like little podcasts and like interviews and stuff that she's done. She's got one hell of a personality.
Yeah.
I love her. But when I tell you lusting after this woman.
Not you being lustful after me talking about Love Island. Because lustful is a theme all in this season.
That is 100% my very first woman crush.
Yeah.
Gay awakening. Because I'm like, I was watching it. I've had some heavy revelations here. It's like you have those periods of time where it's like everything kind of clicks into something else.
Yeah.
Like, kind of off track. I had a revelation when we were in Florida. I was so afraid to get sunburnt.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know. I'm pasty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm white.
Mm-hmm.
I get outside for 10 minutes and I'm burning if I'm not protected.
I carry sunscreen in my purse. Because I don't want skin cancer.
Used to back in the day, like when I was a teenager, I'd tan.
Mm-hmm.
I could burn, but it would turn into his hand.
Yeah.
Now I have 2 shades. I have white
and pink
and red.
Yeah.
There is no pink. Now, I'm decently tan for me. Like right now, like you can kind of tell. Like I've got
you got some contrast. Yeah.
I'm decently tan.
Mm-hmm. That'll be gone in 5 minutes.
This is left over. This is left over from when we were in Florida. I stayed covered.
Mm-hmm.
I found a better face sunscreen. Stayed covered when we were sitting on the beach. Yeah. We were under a umbrella completely, 100%. Like I made sure I moved my chair with the shade. If we were in the water, you know, everything from, you know, chest down was not where the sun could get it because it was underwater. And that water is not clear. But it's, I did kind of get pink around like my chest.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where I usually
is.
Yeah.
Just because I guess where my straps would move with the tides, it would rub off the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
TJ's face got a little pink, but he's like, he burns and then tans like the next day.
Yeah. I do not be doing that.
Where was I going? Oh, but then like, so me being stressed about burning the whole time that we're there, because and also I was trying to prove a point because the whole week before we went, Gemma was like, you're going to burn. You're going to burn. You're going to burn. And I was trying to prove her wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's a running joke in our family, even with my mother-in-law, that I'm not allowed to sit outside for very long without sunscreen because I'm going to burn. And if we go on vacation with them to the beach, she's like telling me every 10 minutes to reapply. So
they just looking out for you, girl. They don't want you to get skin cancer either.
So it reminded me as a child, we would go to the beach. We'd go to like Panama City or Gulf Shores.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've never been to Gulf Shores.
My mom bought this and I loved it. But looking back, I'm like, I'm so stupid. The stuff that she would put on my face was like zinc, but it was like colored. So I'd be running around with like blue shit all over my face in different patterns with other colors. And like, it smelled so good.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, my face is all kind of colorful and shit.
Yeah.
And then day 2, 3, I'm having to wear a t-shirt for the rest of the week in the pool because I have burnt. Because I didn't reapply every 5 freaking minutes. Yeah. And then we'd take like my friend Samantha when I was little, and she's naturally dark complected anyway.
Naturally pretty dark.
And I've always been bigger. Sam was always smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. I'm already self-conscious about the fact that she's like little miss. Mom said she always looked like an Ethiopian kid that never got fed because she was so skinny.
Yeah.
Even though she ate like none other.
Yeah.
Here she is over here in her cute little bikinis. Because she's skinny, and I'm over here with like board shorts, and you know, it's a bathing suit top, you know.
Yeah,
and then like
it's one of those things. Like it's where I
felt like the ugly fat friend,
right? It's like the first traces of like body image issues that you didn't pick up on at the time, maybe. But that as you're like, man. Yeah. I really kind of felt like shit standing next to her.
Yeah. I already felt like the ugly fat friend next to her. And then like day 2, 3, I'm out here in a fucking t-shirt in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And she's still over here in a damn bikini because she's just getting darker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is stupid. Like there's even pictures where we go and get like henna tattoos or airbrush tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And like I specifically remember, I think I have it at my house where like I got a tattoo. We both got tattoos on our shoulders. And we were trying to take a picture of the tattoos. And you can, like, you see Sam's, and she's nice and brown around this tattoo. And then the next one, she was a terrible photographer, by the way, because all you can see is my fat ass and granny panties and my white ass back.
Not your granny panties.
Oh, for sure, granny panties. And then my white ass back, barely able to see the tattoo, whereas you just looked at basically a
tan golden goddess.
TJ said he's tan, like really good the first day, and he's like, I feel like a tan golden goddess.
Meanwhile, all I ever think about is the time we went canoeing and he got burned.
But he was brown as hell the next day. Well, on our honeymoon, we went to Panama City.
It's not good for your skin, though.
He was like, let me not wear sunscreen. It's just one day out here on the beach. Sun poisoning that night.
Yeah.
We didn't even make it to dinner.
Yeah. Check for weird moles, too.
Yeah. Well, see, and I'm concerned. I've got a spot on my leg.
I've got a spot on my arm that's like giving me cause for concern. But
anyway, so that's all I had was my revelation I had.
Yeah.
About.
I'm glad you're watching Pretty Little Liars. I'm glad you get to enjoy the roller coaster that I enjoyed 10 to 15 years ago. But
I told you, late to the game.
I was really excited to find all those books at the bookstore, at the thrift store. I've still got to get the last, like, 4 or 5 of them, but I was stoked on that.
Well, I'll keep you updated on how I'm feeling about things. I never watched that TikTok my mom sent me that I said, let me watch that. My mom sent me 2 hours ago, and now it's been like 4.
Yeah. You're in for a treat. I still follow the woman who played Emily. She's got like a whole line of like suitcases and stuff now that like everybody uses. They're so well made. Yeah, I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but
I don't think hot take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I like the girl that plays Arya.
No, and I've been getting pushed to my feed the weird TikToks of like her and the teacher from the beginning of the show.
Ezra.
Yeah, and how we were like, oh yeah, girl, get it. And now we're like adults and we're like, no, girl, that's weird.
You're a literal child.
Right. Your parents were worried for a reason.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love your daughter. And it's like, go to jail.
Yeah. My favorite character out of that whole thing so far, though, honestly, outside of Arya's mom.
Yeah.
Is Spencer.
Yeah.
I love Spencer.
I like Spencer.
I think she's beautiful.
I will say, I'll give you like a non-spoilery spoiler. It's not going to like ruin the show for you. But I will say that like at the end of the show, it's blatantly obvious that it was written for a different character to be revealed as the ultimate A.
Okay.
And it's set up throughout all of the seasons for somebody else, and at the end they switched it and made it different. And it's kind of obvious because like, I mean, we spent years like in the early days of like Instagram and stuff. Because, like, the showrunner...
I remember seeing...
Yeah, the showrunner would, like, post, like, vague little photos.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, this must mean that this person's A, and they're working with so-and-so, and, you know, it was just a whole thing.
I remember seeing all of that, and I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was very stupid, but it was so fun.
And now I'm like, I kind of get it.
I low-key miss our, like, detective days of Pretty Liars. Our like group detective days.
I'm very fond of this new, well, she's kind of backed out of it now, but this new like crazy stage of Spencer where she's like kind of losing her shit after her and Toby split.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I am. But she's kind of like starting to like come back out of it, I think.
I will say that, like, so you're on season 3. The first season is almost word for word book 1.
Okay.
So that's pretty accurate to the books, but it's after that when it falls off, and it's
we're not going to find out that A is somebody that's already died, right?
No.
Okay.
It is somebody.
Stop. Just stop.
I'll say it's somebody we know. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
But I'm not going to see it coming?
No, probably not. No, because we certainly didn't. In the last season, it's slowly setting up to this. It's slowly building, and then it's revealed, and it's like, what the fuck?
Now I've got an idea. Because I may have seen a spoiler. I was looking at the cast member's name, and it described one of the characters as somebody that storyline has not been brought out yet, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But like the therapist, Dr. Sullivan.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
When I saw, so that's not a. When I saw,
I don't remember that person.
She's been introduced as the girl's therapist now.
Yeah.
But when I Google, like, I'll look it up now. Pretty Little Liars cast. It shows her as, because I was looking it up. I just Googled Spencer's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought that she was the woman that's on like NCIS or something like that, because they sound alike and they kind of look alike.
Yeah.
But it shows her, Pretty Little Liars. It shows her as Spencer's mom. Adoptive raising mother is Veronica Hastings, but her biological mother is Mary Drake.
Oh, yeah, there's a storyline that you'll encounter that, like, well, that sucks they have that on there if you've never seen it.
Well, I mean,
it's a whole thing. You'll find out.
Twin sister of Allie's mom? I've got to stop.
Yeah, stop. Because there's so much. Because, like, Pretty Little Liars was very much a show where, like, everything happened in the first. Because, like, how many episodes a season was that show? Was that like a there's like a 15, or was that like a full?
Is it? It's HBO and it's on Netflix.
Maybe. I mean, it used to come out on that like ABC show or channel or whatever.
I think I'm watching it, streaming it on HBO though.
Okay.
Yes, I am. So pause because it's going to try and play it because I don't know how to get to the episodes. Stop! Season 3, episode 21 currently.
Okay, so this was a show that ran for like 20-something episodes.
Yes.
Okay.
So 25 episodes to season 3.
Yeah.
And there are...
I feel like by
5 seasons.
Yeah. I feel like by the time we got to season 5, I think there might have been a few less episodes. But Pretty Little Liars was very much a show where everything happened.
I lied, 7 seasons.
Okay. Everything happened either at the beginning of the season or at the tail end of the season. And they crammed all of the action there. And then in the middle of the season is like this dip where there's kind of nothing going on, but it's story building for the last half of the season. It was, that was one of those shows that was like that, where it was like very much like a roller.
Bam, 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 calm down. Bam,
yeah, like
bam,
a roller
bam.
coaster where like in the middle of the season, like you could tell when the middle of the season was, because those episodes you kind of left feeling a little let down. Like, why am I still watching this shit? And then they would pick back up the next episode and it would start building into the finale of the season.
Do you want to start another podcast? I just had a whole new podcast.
What, talking about TV shows?
Yeah, girl, we watch a TV show together and then it's just a new one after we finish it, you know?
Listen, I'm down for a side quest.
Hell yeah.
Do we have time for a side quest?
Fuck no, but we're going to figure it out.
I mean, if anything, we could...
That could be a series?
Or, yeah, it could. I mean, there's no rules on Wonders of Weird.
There's no rules.
It's quite literally whatever we want to do.
There's only one rule to Fight Club.
You don't talk about Fight Club.
This isn't Fight Club, so we're going to talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah, we could absolutely incorporate that.
I'm good with it. Let's remember that time that we were like, we're going to watch a new documentary every month.
Yeah. Because we're about to, well, I mean, we did, but then we started doing something else and we just never picked it back up. And I'm honestly about to get rid of Netflix, so, because I'm fed up with her. I don't watch her. Supernatural's not on there anymore.
Stop it. And I think they're about to get rid of
something else cool.
It's about to get rid of.
Like, I think, honestly, I would probably get more of my money's worth if I canceled Netflix and Disney Plus. I know my dad uses Disney Plus, though, so I'll probably keep it just for him. I don't know if I told him that I dropped it to have ads, though. So he'll probably be like, why is there commercials on here all of a sudden? Girl, they went up. They've been going up like $1 every couple months. And I got fed up with that. So we paying $13 for ads.
Gemma wanted to watch My Girl with me, and she was like, "We have to watch it because it's leaving Netflix soon."
Girl, are you
Do that
ready
for
to
a
be
girl.
emotionally? Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
Because I tried to trick her into it, and somebody was like,
Pixie said she ain't never seen it, and I'm like, girl,
I said it in front of somebody, and they were like, "Don't do that to her," and she was like, "Oh my God, what?" And I was like, "Stop." Anyway. All right,
yeah,
guys.
I like that idea of watching a show
I do
and commentating on it.
All right, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Make sure that you guys are following us on all of our social medias, such as Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok,
YouTube,
and you can email us. Send us those
Dear Wanderers.
Please send those. Please, we've been talking about this for months.
Send us shows you would like us to watch. If you've listened to all 2.5 hours of this, send us a show that you would like for us to watch that you've not heard us talk about.
Hell yeah.
And for us to commentate on. Like,
even if we have talked about it,
if it's
we can revisit.
Yeah. If it's like a show that like you feel was unjustly canceled after one season, or like which is notorious on Netflix. I may not get rid of Netflix if y'all send me suggestions of like one season bangers on Netflix that got canceled.
Dude, I love a one season banger. I watch the shit out of those.
Or like a show that you loved as a kid or whatever. We'll take just about, as long as it's not like scary.
Yeah.
I don't want anything scary.
Also, I mean, if you suggest it, that's fine. We might dip into it, but like these 7 seasons, 20-something
if
episodes.
It's like, I'm not looking for a committed relationship with this television show.
We're not watching Supernatural to go over it on this show because that takes me 6 months every time I do it.
Yeah. I think I do love like some of the whenever like the cast of a show will come together to like revisit episodes of a show, because 2 of the guys from Supernatural have done that. They started to do that with Grimm, but
they had like a whole podcast for it.
Yeah. Then COVID happened and the Grimm cast never came back. So that sucks. It was always fun. But anyway.
Send us those.
Do you have your
wandersofweird@gmail.com?
Yeah, Gmail.
No, I knew there was something on
gmail.com.
Hold on. What's this next? This is
for July.
Let's go with
I just need you to know that I did not poop almost my entire trip of South Carolina.
I have other questions about things that may or may not have happened on your trip to South Carolina.
Somebody did poop and closed the bathroom door, though.
Hateful.
Which was diabolical, because we stayed in a Marriott, and a Marriott is notorious for not having vents in their bathrooms. I go in there. I was pissed. I was fit to be tied. I was ready to have a hissy fit. And then later on in the evening, I was getting ready to go take a shower, and Daniel went to go poop, and somebody said, "Hey, shut that door when you're done," because he didn't want the whole room to smell. And I'm like, I'm about to go in there. Don't you dare. I was quick with no.
Ooh, listen, this might be controversial.
What? Don't get us canceled. We're almost at, we need to, that reminds me, I have an idea for our 200th.
Okay.
Because we will be coming up on our 200th for August.
All right, hear me out. You ready for it?
Uh-huh.
In this great month of July,
where
we are going to celebrate our country's 250th year.
Yeah.
I would like our nonprofit to be
Nature
Conservancy of Canada.
Oh, there we go. I like that.
So it's the country's unifying force for nature, working to deliver large-scale permanent land conservation. With nature, they're building a thriving world.
Yeah.
And there are some beautiful areas in Canada. And I know that we have some listeners in Canada.
Yeah.
At least one in Ontario-ish area.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that.
We'll leave all the links and stuff to donate and learn more about them in the description below. Okay.
wandersofweird@gmail.com.
wandersofweird@gmail.com. We will see you next week for our next spooky state. If you listen to this all the way through, be sure to send us your show that you would like for us to watch, or just your favorite show in general.
Also, get yourself a cookie.
Yeah. And make sure to let us know that you explored our nether regions.
Oh, the nether regions.
It's been a month and a half. I almost forgot.
The nether regions.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on that merch, bruh.
Right. Well, I will come up with something.
Okay,
all right. Bye.